Hi, everybody. This is a poker coaching study session. We're going to look at some cash hands, all face up, see how people actually played. I grabbed this segment. This is $5. This is the $500 game, I think. Let me see that. Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah. So get to see, and this is the biggest game that I played in on Ignition live games. I don't know if they have anything bigger than this on Ignition. I'd have to look. But so if you're scared of these players, let's see how they play.
Is this fast fold or a regular table?
Nope, this is going to be a regular table. I got more fast fold hands, but I decided let's actually look. This is only about 25 hands. I played it and then I decided I did not like the stakes. I was not enjoying the either being pushed around or the mistakes they weren't making. I'm not sure. I've never looked at these hands. This is also from 2022. So you're going to see some bad play by me that's different than the bad play you'd see by me today. Let's see. King 10 should raise. Everyone should fold. This 7-9 suited in a tournament. Some people might play it in a cash game. Just fold it. Let's see what happens. There's the raise to 2.2. So that's the first thing we see, and I fold. So the first thing we see from this guy is that they are doing a smaller opening raise size than we see at the lower stakes because they can get away with it. Ace 9 too early. Ace 10 raises. 10-10 3 bets. 5-5 has to get out of the way. Let's see if that's what happens. Nope. Ace 9 raises. This is one seat too early. There's some ace 9 in the hijack. This is
Yeah, and 1 pip too wide.
yeah, right. So, and the ace 9 in the hijack is a low frequency mix. It's like quarter-ish. In the cutoff, it's fine. It's 100%. With this ace 10 suited, if you're playing a strategy that has a call, you can call this hand. If you're playing 3-bet or fold, I think you need to 3-bet this. I don't think you fold it.
I think our fish is gonna flat here.
I know. Does anybody want to?
Ace 10 suited?
Yeah. Put your finger in front of his stack size before you give your answer. We have to give
Oh,
answers. Yeah. So let's give an answer without
he's gonna call.
he's going to, yeah. But let's start. What do you want him to do? What do you think is his best play if he's got a full stack?
I think this
I'd
is
be
really
three-betting this all
rate
the time.
dependent.
Okay.
3-bet.
3-bet, right. So this is a 3-bet against the low jack. We're good with that. Now we can adjust and say, if for some reason you're on a smaller stack, what's the right play? Is it the 30? Is it jam
If you're on a smaller stack, the right play is to
top off?
top off and buy more chips.
Right. But for some reason you didn't, like, for example, you lost the previous hand and didn't get the chips fast enough. What's the adjustment?
I think if you're planning to play short stack like 30 and under, I think shoving is an option.
Yeah, I think that might be the right small stack strategy, is that this is a shove.
I would imagine at 30 big blinds with reduced reverse implieds, you're gonna have maybe some flats here.
Okay. All right. So he folds it. There we go. Tens should absolutely 3-bet now. But the tens has got to have some calling on the button.
They could call too on the
Yeah, it's got to mix. He goes for just the call, and now
Hero's gonna call.
right, hero. Now, technically, I should have no flats here. I should squeeze and fold, right? But this is one of those things where you just go, oh, it's just too good.
No, you can have flats now, I think, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're gonna get more flats in the small blind at this rake structure compared to 50 and now.
Okay. With that,
There's a significantly different strategy for a small blind at this rake structure.
yeah. Well, I'm
Mhm.
I'm sure that in 2022 I flat this.
What's the rate
Oh.
structure here, by the way?
Oh, look at the tightness. Oh,
Well,
this,
Derek, I'm making assumptions. I mean, so
Scotty.
you're gonna pay just a lot
On-
less rake at 500 NL than you are
On the
at.
charts,
Yeah.
500 NL, this is 100% call.
yep, of course it is. Of course it is. All right, there we go. There's our first mistake that cost me nothing. All right. Top pair, no kicker in this situation.
He should
On
check.
a dry, relatively, pretty dry board. only, inside straights. There is no up and down straight. No flush draw. I think that this is a really good check call
Yeah,
and do your
Yeah, I
strike.
think so. This hand is for sure a check call, but I think you do get, a relatively decent amount of c betting here, but I mean, you're still checking a lot, but this
Yeah.
ace 10 board, I think probably, I'm guessing 60%-ish globally.
This seems, and this particular hand seems like a really good check call, not a check raise.
Can you explain that, please?
I don't know if we get that many bets.
Yeah, that might be a little high.
Yeah,
Okay. This hand's, this hand is runnable. We'll look at it.
But
But let's
look,
answer Derek's
I do
question.
want to guess that this villain so far has been aggressive. He's probably still gonna see bet.
It's not gonna go, whatever he does is not gonna go well for him. So, Derek, you had a question, and is the question, why are we not just c betting this board? We have the ace,
Right, right.
like that. Who wants to answer? I nominate Mike.
Question real quick. Is villain one in LoJack?
Villain one is in low jack.
In particular, in this very specific situation with these deep stacks, I think this is almost a probably real. I mean, your c betting here is going to go down even considerably, I think. But with the ace 9 is a great spot to be able to kind of protect your checking range here. I mean, you're really either way ahead or way behind what he's got here.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
But he
Right.
does know that he's way ahead or way behind. In other words, the other guy's got has got a better ace, a worse ace, both of which are way ahead or way behind. Or nothing, in which case he stays way ahead. He doesn't benefit from folds. Whatever folds here has very little equity. Queen
And you're
jack,
not going to get 3 streets of value. You're not going to really be able to 3 streets in here. So I think either checking here or checking turn, I would typically take this hand and use it as a check.
Yeah, but look at his stack though. Most of the time, people who have a stack like that get it by being aggressive.
so Joey, is that an argument for how he should play or how you're predicting he will play?
How I'm predicting he will play.
Gotcha. We don't disagree with that. We're talking about what we think our best play is in this situation.
Yeah,
And-
it's obvious. Check call is.
Yeah, check call is what we all think is the best play here, not because we can see the pocket tens, but because the only hand that really benefits from not checking here
The kicker's too weak to be a value bet.
Okay.
when
Um,
when called. And when folded to, they folded out virtually no equity. Again, king jack, king queen, queen jack have some, have decent equity and oh well. And they're probably calling. So you were gonna say, Derek, before we move on?
Yeah, I think my population folds too much to continuation bets.
Right, but with that,
So should I modify my strategy and start checking in this situation?
so if they fold too much to continuation bets, as long as they have not noticed that you are only continuation betting your bluffs, which you're not going to do, because you're going to bet your 2 pair here, and you're going to bet your ace king and your ace queen. Maybe
And
your
ace
ace jack.
Ace
Yeah,
jack
yeah.
will bet.
Yeah, you're gonna construct your range that way that you have enough bets in it. Yeah, this is a good check back. All the people who are folding too much here, you got no money from, and they weren't gonna catch up with you.
And
You-
Derek, sometimes it's okay to overfold.
Yeah.
Typically not in position, but sometimes you call and just get a horrible board for your range and you're gonna just let it go and overfold. Let them exploit you for that one bet.
Checks, he checks. Now the tens have absolutely got to bet. There's no checking behind second set here. If he
When he
bets-
checks, do we get a large bet on an ace 10 board?
I would think at this stack depth you do.
Yeah.
Your SPRs big.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking maybe close to pot with this SPR and this board.
And this hand which unblocks the ace. Which the lovely thing is, he now has confidence that the guy's got an ace.
And my question is, at 100, even at 100 big blind stacks, I think once low jack checks, I think there's big bets at 100 too.
Okay. We'll take a look. We're gonna run this hand. Check again. Bet again. You don't love the queen. You know, it brings in a straight, but it only brings in one. Kind of polarized. Against his ace, how big is an ace gonna call here? And I think you can reliably put your opponent that a lot of his range is aces that call there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have, if this was low jack, you're not even supposed to have this ace, so.
No. But
So
you
I'm
care.
nervous right now. I'm pretty nervous.
you're nervous that it's king jack?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, he's clearly. No, he's double barreled, so, yeah, I'm shook with
Oh,
my
your
ace
ace
with the
nine.
bad kicker.
No, your ace nine should be nervous now. I
Yeah.
didn't mean that. I meant the tens.
Oh,
His-
yeah, the tens,
His
yeah.
size. His size. I think he can go bigger. I think so much of Villain's range
no.
right is an ace. And an ace is,
I think I disagree with going real big because a straight, even though it was an inside straight, a straight did hit.
that's true. So just the
And that is
heuristic,
definitely in range of the players.
Yeah,
right?
this would be, we'll see what solver does here. That is an interesting question.
So the heuristic that we're following here, not
Because
the argument.
If he had king jack with a backdoor flush draw, that
Sure.
would definitely still be in range.
Yeah. So the general thing is when equity completes on the turn, it pushes our bet size down. Not that we have no large bets, but we have more small bets than if equity didn't complete. That's just a general thing, whether we have that equity or we don't, whether we have the king jack or not. That's just a general pattern. And this queen counts as reasonable equity completing within his range. So that's going to make us guess that this is going to be more like a 33 to 50 in the
I
solver.
wonder if you get more big bets with your set here as compared to two pair. Because you have more outs to the boat.
Yeah. And for our particular hand, I think still has big bets. And I think that I still think they're bigger than this. All right. We get the call. That's great. I think we should go check. I think Value Town is over. And the ace nine decides to bluff it. Bluffing with the best hand.
That's too small, I think, if he's gonna blow.
Yeah. I don't know that he knows that he's
If
bluffing.
he's gonna take the lead.
Yeah. I don't think you fold your tens. You hate it.
On
But
a
he does.
four-liner,
He does.
when
It
they
did.
come out lead on you, you might, on a four-liner,
Okay.
tens
this
are gonna be
size-
close.
So
Well, it does answer Joey's question. How do you get a 260 big blind stack? It's through aggression.
Yeah. All right. Let's run it. Does anybody have a deeper stack solve? than-
Yeah, I've got one set up for this.
All right, let's go.
I have trouble folding sets.
Good.
You and me both.
I
I
I
think
ran
you
into
need to
trouble
stop sharing.
Oh, yeah, I do.
going
I've-
bet with
Oh.
a set.
Hi, Tony. Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
All right,
mean,
guys, can you see this?
In solver, it might be a call, but against population on a four-liner, it's not a slam dunk call.
No, but that's size. That size includes bluffs.
So about a 40% global.
Yeah, we're betting 40. So there's
Yeah.
more. So I think there's more over betting it here at 200 big blinds. It's 200 big blinds. That doesn't happen at 100 big blinds. I think this is driven by the SPR.
Right.
And the question is, what do we do with our 10? So he's going to check a lot of his. We'll just pretend he's ace nine suited. He's going to check that a lot.
Well, I think 125% might be 3E.
Yeah, it sounds about, I'm not sure about this SPR.
Yeah.
So he
Would-
checked, right? So
Yeah,
what
but
do I,
do one
what's
thing,
our-
roll over the ace nine suited real quick. I want to
Sure.
see what, because our hand is the equivalent of ace nine of diamonds. And just seeing if it checks a lot more. No, no,
it looks like we're just kind of pulling bets from a
Yeah.
lot of our range here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's more standard on a flop.
so if you look
So-
at his ace range, yeah, he checks more the worse his kicker gets, but it's not all that dramatic. So the entire ace range splits between checking and betting.
Maybe the interesting part is that with ace king, he's gonna get some, and it's a queen a little bit, he's gonna get these big bets.
Right, and we're gonna see which ones check raise and which ones check call.
I would imagine these come more at the back door. No.
Yeah.
Okay, clear, check. Now the question is, at this stack depth, what are we gonna do with our tens? Well, our equity is through the roof, so we still sometimes we can do a lot of things, including over bets.
Shocking number of checks. I wouldn't check it ever.
What did he bet?
He bet just around,
75.
He bets, didn't he? No, on the flop, I think he
on the
bets.
flop,
all.
he bet
Didn't I-
he bet 3.8 into 6.
Didn't I
Oh,
mention he
half.
should be able to, he should be betting a little larger?
And he does.
So yeah, he gets big bets here.
Yeah.
What did he choose?
3.8, so we'll call it the 75%. It's close to 75%.
And those really big raises, I think, are a function of the 200 big blind stacks. I think it wouldn't be quite so big if it was 100 big blinds.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. This is a lot about SPR here. So our top pairs are still sticking around always.
Yeah.
We don't really have any check raises here to this sizing.
We do, but. they're-
Well, yeah,
but very- yeah.
I think a normal amount is like somewhere between like, somewhere around 10%. So I
Yeah.
think there's, this again, I don't really run many solves at 200 big blinds, so this
Mhm.
also might be a factor of SPR, I'm not sure.
We're gonna, I think.
But I'm curious where we begin, to this big size, I'm curious where we begin to, where our full threshold is, and so, yeah, it's very linear.
Probably
Yeah.
second pair.
Yeah.
Somewhere around second pair.
Second pairs like to call here. I guess it's
Well,
blocking
it has
sets.
more outs than jacks and queens.
Yeah,
I wonder how much it has to do with just blocking his sets too. Okay, so we call.
turn is the queen of diamonds.
Queen of diamonds. Check range. Now I think we're probably a big dog, right? Yeah, we're a dog.
No, we're not.
No.
No, look,
did I
was
misread
it
that?
equity-
We're the
that was
yellow.
equity shifting card.
Yeah, that's a great card. Look,
Oh, you're right. I misread it.
That's why I didn't think the button had a lot of large bets on that
Yeah.
card.
How many straights do we have? There's more straights at this point. Pretty close.
what it really is at the low end, we folded all of our junk and he bet some of his.
So
That's-
we've got, absolute value, we've got like 4 times more straights than he does. We've got 2.3, he's got 0.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
but as an overall percentage of range, it's fairly close.
No,
That's true.
did we read that right? Show me the straights again. Maybe I read the stat wrong.
So this shows you now what the absolute number is, range versus
Oh.
range
Okay,
at the top. But once you clear it, the filter, it's gonna show you as a
oh,
percentage.
there it
of
is.
range.
Yeah, we have a drop more in percentage, but not much.
But we're gonna check range here.
Yep.
And
What's his
I'm
tens doing?
expecting
Are
him
his
to
tens slowing down? So his tens are
fold.
kind of slowing down.
Yeah, 33 to 50%.
And so what's the equity now? So we went from like 90% to 85, so we have a little bit less. And solver hates getting stacked, so. What's he do with his king jack? He put it this way. He's gonna mimic, he's gonna get some big bets. What size did he use?
He
Uh,
went like 75%.
He went 75% and his red, so on his 10-10.
So
What
he
is,
never has 10-10 with 75%.
right, his 10-10 size is,
Oh no, there's a sliver.
right. But his main
There's a
10-10 size
sliver
is
with,
50, right?
what?
His main 10-10 size is 50, right?
33.
Oh,
Well, here it
okay,
is. This is his sets. With his sets, this is what he's doing.
okay.
He gets a little bit of,
some
it's
50.
not gonna break the solver, but it's, yeah, so I think the heuristic here is that solver hates getting stacked, so when completed equity does come in, it's going to slow down significantly.
Mhm.
The other question I have is, okay, let's just look at this real quick. What's the equity of our sets versus our two pair at this point? Do our sets have more equity because
I say
Yeah,
yes,
because
they have more
we're
outs?
outs to a full house if
Yeah.
if it's behind.
Yeah.
So 85, yeah, 85%. Now let's clear this. Two pair. Yeah, significantly more, except for the very top. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so he B75 doesn't break the solver, but it's a very rare play.
right? And our jack is offsuit. Let's see if it matters.
And I
Well,
think
no,
our
we have
top
the
pair's
ace
got to
nine.
be shook
Jack of
here.
hearts.
Yeah, we're just supposed
Ace
to
nine
fold
should
this
be a
combo.
fold.
Yeah.
I was
So-
thinking that, but I didn't say that.
Yeah, our top pair, we want to block the straight.
Yeah.
And if we don't block the straight, we're out. Is that what everybody sees?
Can
I
we
see
keep
it.
it, can
Yep.
we keep it closer to what really happened and went 50%? Just to see if 10 should be folding on that river?
Okay,
Cause we'll
Okay.
have a larger percentage of tens in range.
alright. Okay, so if he bets 50, so what happens to our top pair? We begin to call a little bit more.
Yeah, cause he bet a little smaller.
No, sorry, I messed this up. Undergone, check, bet, call. Now, what was the,
Jack of hearts, I believe. Let me check it. Jack of hearts.
But I don't know if it matters since it's a rainbow board.
It doesn't. Just putting just putting it up.
And
so
look
we
at
get,
that,
we get a
Ace nine?
ton of donks here.
Yeah.
ace nine should turn into a bet.
And ace nine comes a bluff. This guy is so in his RTA. How do you
Yeah.
get a big stack? Monster stack? Well, you use RTA.
Well, the RTA would have told him to fold the ace nine pre, so I don't think that's where it came from.
And on the turn.
Okay, well, I'm just curious where his bluffs come from.
What's
So,
RTA?
Real time assistance. We're teasing him. We're claiming that he cheated and he didn't.
Oh, okay.
So-
That went totally over my head.
Right.
so these are, so trash hands where we're betting. These are where our bluffs are coming from. So the queen is now a trash hand, but it's blocking. I guess it's blocking sets. So it's gonna use that. Jacks.
Well, the jack is a straight. It's a four liner. Any jack's a straight.
No, we need a king.
King is a straight.
Oh, I'm sorry, king. Alright, I
Yeah,
messed
these are our
up.
weak hands. These are
We do.
These are
Yeah.
our weak hands of trash hands.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, we're seeing that we're turning his hand into a bluff on,
Mhm.
and all these other sevens and eights.
And what is the bluff size?
So the bluff size it likes is,
Mostly 51%.
yeah, it likes to be 50. Which I would imagine we can jack up versus humans. But, solver does solver things.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't think it often has very dramatic donk sizings.
Look
solver
at
does.
this and look at our mix of kings.
Yeah, so what are our kings, what are our straights doing? So our top of range also is gonna balance that donks, but it's mixing.
Yeah.
So now the final question is, what do we do? Is our set too far up in our range on a 4-line or to fold? What size did he use in game?
He used
A little
about
bit over 50, I
75.
think.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
He
didn't
went-
notice.
32. He went 21 into 32, so 2/3.
But will that break?
6.
We'll try both. So what do our
Yeah.
sets do now?
Look at
Our
that.
sets are indifferent AF
Mm-hmm. Right,
at B75.
and at B50,
Pretty much same thing.
Yeah.
What kind of, this must be zero. So this is a zero EV call. Yeah, so we're bluff catching.
Yeah.
Flip coin.
all right, let's take a look at this same hand at 100,
Okay,
since we've got it all set up.
okay, I will do
If we
that.
Larry,
one
is this one of the, reports you can get on your membership
Um,
under the gun button?
for, let me check.
So I would like to see a flop report if we can get it.
I'm gonna steal the
No.
screen while you look at that.
I know
Cannot,
it's
sir.
limited, but several of the ones that do have reports are with the button in that one, isn't it?
Sorry?
I know it's limited. The
Uh,
reports
it's-
you can get, but a lot of the ones you can get are with the button in the hand, right?
It's button versus big blind, UTG versus big blind, and button versus small blind.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
Never
gonna,
mind.
Larry, while you're setting that up at 100, I'm just gonna run a hand here.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. So what should happen? Fold, 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 fold. Queen 8 suited, raise. Fold, fold. That's what should happen. And this is back when I raised to 3 big blinds, did not, based on poker coaching, and that worked. All right, you set up, or do we do the next hand?
I think so. So I changed it. Yeah, I think it changed.
Okay.
Fold, call. Yeah, I think it's set up.
All right,
Uh,
you're up.
Okay. Alright, so it seems to have held the run out. So let's see if it works.
In
Right.
that last hand in 500 NL, King 10's a 3-bet. Not 100%, but
Yep, I can see that's some 3 bets there against the button.
So how do
not-
well, I guess the first question is how do our ranges change? Ace nine's still not in,
Mm-hmm.
button. Still mixes with tens.
Yep.
And then here. So I think yeah, so big bets go away, right? So now we don't have over bets with this SPR.
Yeah.
We're,
So
we're
this
playing
board-
smaller sizings.
So this is a small bet board from the out of position player.
And the frequency went up.
The
His-
bet frequency went up. Yeah, you're right. We were checked 60% before, right?
yeah. We're
Okay.
still betting less than 50%.
I would check this a lot.
So we check the ace nine.
Check, button.
Yep, that's fair.
See
Button,
what happens to his sizing with the tens. So he becomes a lot more polarized. So Mike, I
Yeah.
think you said this was gonna happen.
Yeah, I think a common heuristic is when the board is, pretty favorable for the initial raiser and they check, that you're gonna get bigger bets in position versus that check.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna
That's what I
polarize.
said. Yeah, I would polarize too. That's what I said during the hand.
Yeah.
Ace 10, I think when he bets, he has large bets.
Yeah, so this clearly is better for you, for out of position player. So that's an interesting heuristic. I mean, I know that heuristic when it's SRP in position versus big blind, but I didn't know it held for this configuration.
State the heuristic again.
In general, when you're the caller and the board is good for the original raiser and you're in position, when he checks, you're going to be polarized with your range.
Yeah. So
I might not have found the overbets, but I would have been 75% or larger for the most part when I bet.
So I wonder if overbets make sense. I guess it depends on your pool, but I guess overbets. I wonder with a hand with this much equity, a overbet makes sense. When I think it depends on how much overbets are in your population. Because I think if you overbet with the top of range, I wonder if it just folds out too much of their range with humans, too much of what you're beating with humans.
Yes,
And you're
but look at
beating-
how, yes, but look at what it does to your bluffs. That's
True.
the, that's the
It
joy.
now
of the
gives
overbet.
you,
Now you can overbet bluffs and have it work.
that is a very good point.
And when you
And if
bet
what I said
larger,
is
you can
true,
bluff
then you should
more.
be taking this.
Yep.
If what I said is true, then you should be taking this line all the time. You should be using all these bluffs down here
Yeah, yeah.
and all these gut shots. You should always take it. Good point. So,
So now-
did he
yeah.
B75? I think he gets some B75. It's just a small part of the,
Yeah,
so. B75,
call.
and the under the gun doesn't fold in
always
aces,
calling
and very little check raising. Very little check raising to the big.
against that big size, yeah.
Yeah. And give him a small size bet real quick. Just to see which of the aces check raise and which check call.
So it doesn't
Very little
change.
check raising.
So,
Ace 10,
yeah,
ace 10, ace king, and ace king still
so you're two pair
is it safe?
and your very best ace king.
And even
I
those,
think a lot of times out of position in this situation, you're just not really super motivated to.
Yeah.
Balloon the pot.
great. All right, so he bets the 75.
Alright, so that's flop, B75. Our top pair is always calling.
Right.
Turn was the
Queen of diamonds.
diamond.
And now we think
Oh.
that this is going to push his bet size down at 100
So-
especially.
So again, this is equity shifting. We just, against that big bet, I guess, we just don't have any
Mhm.
donks. But I'm just. Yeah, we just don't, I'm surprised we don't have donks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because of the configuration. Maybe because we both have straights. Okay, so undergun checks. And his
You get
tens now slow down like we saw before.
33 and 50.
Right. Nothing bigger than 50.
Yeah, he used a B75
is-
though, right?
Right. And the global percentage is 21-14. And I want to remember that for the next thing.
21-14, okay.
Yeah. Because I want to give us a different card than the queen. Just anything that doesn't complete equity. and
Yeah,
see-
that's a good.
Which is
That's
Oh,
very
good.
no, yeah, if he doesn't complete
Free to go
equity, he
down.
has large bets.
So you B75s, which is naughty.
And
Yeah,
ace
we're
nine's
just-
folding.
Solver says, uh-oh, very low.
Yeah.
Now the question is. Call. River's a jack of
call.
hearts, right?
Jack of hearts.
Yep.
Now, do we get those donks? We do get those donks.
On a four liner, you always get them.
Yeah.
Because one of the theories is, as an exploit, whenever a four flush hits or a four straight, just be the first one to get money in the pot.
Yeah,
If
we
you
see that a
can.
lot. Yeah, good point. Okay, so he's supposed to use. He used like a B15 game, right?
B74, B66 is what he did.
Okay, so it's pretty, so, yeah, indifferent AF.
All right.
Yeah,
Now, the one thing I find interesting here
against population, I would fold that completely.
is that even though we're indifferent with our tens, it likes to call with the set of twos. Which I don't think we haven't very often, but. Yeah, this line is just it's just unusual.
Well, I
Okay.
think if we go back, maybe some of his bluffs are coming from tens. If we go back one node,
To UTG,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bluff stack
we're
10.
blocking some of his. We're blocking some of the range that we beat. And twos aren't blocking any of it, so they'd get just a little bit of boost over top over tens.
yeah, so it's using Jack 10, Queen 10. Which it says are trash hands.
Yeah.
Do we want to go back to
prepared
turn
for
and see
that.
what happens if we have a good turn for our set?
Yeah, just, but, we can pair the deuce if you want, or just, do a 6, anything.
Let's pair the deuce to take away some sets.
All right.
Okay, so now we get some very interesting on that two comes, he gets,
Well,
no,
that's
I'm in
still
the
a
wrong
river
spot.
Yeah.
Here I am.
And you have a filter you need to clear? Yeah, okay.
No
So
filters
now
right
on the deuce, on the deuce, he has some donking.
That's some interesting donking,
Ace.
checks.
But when he checks, what's our big bet frequency? We had 14,
Yeah,
21,
now we're over betting.
and
Yeah.
now it is, yeah, huge difference. That queen is everything. Cool.
Yeah, the queen makes a big difference.
That's what I wanted to see. All right.
All right. Anything else you guys want to see on this?
All right.
Can get back to the alpha?
Cool. All right, nice. So here we go. We got fold, 6-5 can raise sometimes and fold other times. In 1, 2, 3, the wizard chart puts this right around, 6-5, right around 25% for the 6-5.
Did you say 100%?
No, yes, it's 25% that you do 100% of the time. That's what I said. Okay, we'll see what he does. If he folds the queen 7, too early, should fold. Ace jack should raise and take it. If he raises,
If he three bets, oh, oh wait, he's too short. He shouldn't be opening.
oh,
box
right,
suited there.
yeah, I didn't get his stack size. Yeah, he should fold. He doesn't have,
And if he gets three bet, he should not call with his short stack.
right. And he does fold. I should fold. Ace jack should raise and take it. He does at 2.2. Too early for queen jack, 1, 2, 3, but not deathly early. So there are slivers of queen jack there in the low jack there. Is that slivers?
Yeah, it's a little bit,
Yeah, yeah. It's,
but with the
oh no,
small
wait a
stack,
minute.
with the small stack and the big blind, I think I lean towards a fold.
Yeah,
However, the big blind, well, we've seen the hands he's folding.
Yeah.
He's folding some borderline hands, which means he's probably a little bit tight.
but these guys have only seen 4 hands. They've been playing with him. We showed up to the table late, so. And all of a sudden, queen jack no, I think queen jack is,
It's borderline. I
No, I
did it
think-
sometimes.
no, I just remembered it wrong. I'm thinking queen jack is common in
I
the,
think it's, yeah, I think it's
Jack-
borderline.
okay, let's just do a quick look here. Okay, nothing in Discord. We don't have to answer anybody in Discord. Good. All right, so we're done with Discord. GTO wizard. Just real fast here. Study. I apologize for the MTT chart.
Are you
What?
cheating on us?
I don't know what, I had to play an MTT. All right, queen jack and the low jack is. Oh, not after a raise. Yeah, no, that's what I thought it was. Queen jack is common in the low jack. It's queen 10 that's a sliver. That's right. So with this, sure. Open and the ace five should fold. But he doesn't, and now we go to the ace five blind, he should raise his ace five, and blind against blind, ace eight should not fold. And this short, maybe he should just jam. Hey, he plays short stack. I think he's intentionally playing short stack.
Scotty's soul reading today.
Yeah, makes sense. Although we didn't do it the last time.
Well, his hand was a little bit more marginal.
Yeah,
I mean, ace eight blind versus blind is almost a slam dunk.
yeah. I don't remember what is it. And the other one wasn't blind versus blind, I don't think. Not to go
No.
back. Anyway, ace nine, too early. Just fold it. Come on, Scotty, just fold it. Fold it. Thank you. Threes can open or not here. They mix. Eights have to open, obviously. And if you have a three bet or fold strategy, eights are enough to three bet the threes. So there's the threes. If the eights have a calling strategy, they can mix. He has a calling strategy.
Well,
every-
let's look at the NL 500 charts for, does he actually have some calls there?
Okay, Joey, Larry, you got the NL 500
Go
up.
up in hijack.
Yeah, hijack cutoff. So we'll go on while you set that up. Everybody else needs to fold.
2.5. Oh,
Yep.
wait,
He's got a sliver. I mean, do you want to see it?
Yeah, I want to see it.
No, it's NL 500, 100 big blinds. It's three bet or fold.
Okay,
Um,
somebody put it up real quick. Thanks, Larry.
and all 500, 100 big blinds.
He went
Hijack
2.5x.
raises, right?
He went 2.5x.
Did he? I thought
Yeah,
it was
actually
2.17.
2.17.
0.17, so
Oh,
called.
okay. Yeah, with the two he does have.
Yeah, so he gets some flats here.
Mostly raises.
I looked it up under 2.5 and
So he gets some flats. Yeah.
All right. There we go. Back to the game here. Oh, back to the showing you the game here. So here's the game. And that's always nice. Unfortunately, there's only one overcard to his eight, so he's going to lose a little bit more money, but not too much more.
it should go check on the flop.
The threes can easily check here, and they can also
This
bet.
seems like a really good, a really fun check raise for villain five.
Yeah, it's a great one. But he bets, gets the call. And his bet size is small. It's a little bit bigger than 33.
But in theory, I don't think he has any bets on this board.
Take a look. Since we're
I'm
that
not
close.
sure.
Okay, there we go. That's the dream. Unfortunately, it's another card that beats the eights for him getting money.
The eight should fold now.
But he doesn't. And
Picky villain.
Oh, wow. Also, I was gonna say, I don't think the threes bet large enough on the turn. I think their bet should have been more polarized.
So I was saying to myself, I never see as many suckouts as I have in game when we watch these playbacks on Monday, but now I understand there's also suckouts on these playbacks, so I feel better now.
yeah. Oh, you said in game you see more suckouts. Okay.
I say when I'm playing, I get suckouts
Yeah, always
all the
sucked in
time,
on.
but this never happens on Monday.
All right. Goodbye, 89 big blinds.
Yeah, you're never getting away from this.
There. Raise.
He let him off easy.
No, he didn't. There's the jam. Happy days.
So let's talk about this line a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I think the turn is where things go screwy.
well, I was more curious about the river raise in position and what you guys think. But we can go over the turn first. That's fine.
So I think he should polarize more. Cause eights almost wanna fold, but I think to a small bet, they gotta stick around maybe.
Mhm. But you don't mind if they stick around. I mean, you're happy to get you're happy to get money from eights here.
Yeah, but I'd be targeting somebody who's gonna pay me off pot or more with a queen.
With queen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, his call, I mean, his call on the flop has a lot of queen in it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
Now,
now he bets what? He bets half
basically half pot, just over half.
and he gets 3x, right? About.
Oh. Yeah, under
Little
3x.
under.
Alright, so. The question I have. Is. Can we? Reduce our check jams with this bottom set. Against humans, because. It's hard to. It's hard to find humans that are gonna have queen X, it's hard to find humans that are gonna have a worse hand here, I would argue. Or is that too nitty?
Well, does
You
anybody?
you don't
six-
think that somebody in population is not gonna do this with ace six suited?
Yeah,
Well, I
Or
can
7-6.
appreciate the Socratic method, but I'm just asking a question, which is. I mean, we're at top of range, obviously, but. And maybe I'm skewed by seeing the cards. Okay, I'm just asking the question. I mean, is this
We-
always a check shove?
until we get shown those eights, we are loving life when we get raised.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm thinking.
Is it
Vegas
just
is
too
mirage.
small of a portion that beats us here?
Right.
That-
I see your point, Larry, that there's just not too many worse hands that are going to call, right? I mean,
That's the point I was trying to get to, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
why
Yeah, I
I
mean,
go broke
We
here.
can eliminate pocket queens from villain six, since he only called. Maybe not 100%,
we
but
can downgrade, we can downgrade pocket queens.
90%.
that. Yep.
Queen six and queen three are not, well, queen three doesn't beat us. Queen
Yep.
six, it shouldn't really be in range.
Yep. 8-6
Um,
can downgrade
Eight,
eight.
six suited should not be really in range.
Yep.
Maybe the question to ask in game when this occurs is, okay, if I'm gonna check shove. As Mike put it,
You don't
what,
mean check shove. If you're gonna bet shove.
sorry, if I'm gonna bet re-raise shove,
Yeah,
what better is going to call me? What worse rather is gonna call me?
ace-6.
Okay, so I've got two combos of a6, right?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we go broke here and that's okay. I'm just
Ah.
trying to
Alright, so
dive into if we do have an exploitative call here.
there is one combo of pocket sixes that could be in range. 3 of pocket eights.
It's not that many combos, right?
And 2 of ace-6. So if he's folding a queen here, we should not, if he folds a queen, we should not be shoving.
Yeah, so I would say the
Yeah.
majority of his range is making this play.
Unless he has 7-6 suited too. Which is a possibility, I think.
And we don't, yeah, it's easy to forget the 7-6.
Just 2 more combos, though.
It's easy
Yeah.
to forget the suited connectors when you're doing
So
combinatorics.
that's 4 total combos that we,
Get
The-
value from.
and 4 that we lose to. So yeah, it's only 50, you need 50% plus 1.
And then throw in 5-6. If he's got 7-6, he's got 5-6. And now
Now it's 6-4.
it's okay.
And then,
Yeah,
and then if we get called by 6-5 suited, now the numbers are there for a raise.
Okay, that makes sense.
all right.
I think most of the time we just go broke.
Yep.
Yep. I go broke here.
Yes.
Speaking of going broke.
All right. 3s fold, 9s raise, ace queen 3-bets it, folds around, and the 9s do not fold. I call.
I mean, in
Yeah.
the,
they're
the-
go, Yeah,
500 NL, ace queen suited may have a sliver of calling.
Yep.
I would guess that's a possibility.
And I believe and this guy we've seen call.
and your nines are actually probably gonna fold a ton in the solver.
Screw that. All right, we'll see how much we'll see how much the nines fold there, but I'm not folding.
Or
Yeah,
villain 5 is sitting there licking his wounds with 1.5 big blinds.
he has not topped off yet. Didn't get there fast enough. He just assumed he didn't need to push the top off button.
Yes.
All right. I don't need to donk on this
How
board.
hard is it to set up auto top off on?
You can't do, ignition doesn't.
There
have
is
it.
no option for auto top off. You have to hit a button
Oh.
before you make your action, otherwise you're kind of stuck.
How horrible.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also it pauses. It doesn't catch it for usually sometimes a second or two. So you can hit it in time and still not get in. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna check range. He checks. I'm going to be just fine. I'm gonna be betting a lot of my range here against the check, so I might as well bet this. But I decide not to.
Why did you decide not to?
I don't know. It was 2 years ago. Maybe because I'm putting him on the ace, king, ace, queen hands now, and I want to give him a chance to hit an ace because he's folding here and he's got no outs.
The
And
he's-
solver might check here
We've made some
some.
assumptions
I'm
and
not
he's
sure
shown to
though.
be pretty aggressive too, so maybe you were thinking he's aggressive and trying to
That's a good
exploit.
point.
I bet 100% here.
100% of the
just me.
time or 100% of the pot.
No, 100% of the time.
I'm okay with that.
Now, you cannot bet 100%. If you're playing against a good player, you have
Oh,
to
I'm not
check at
playing
least
against good players.
No, you meant you're betting the
in no
nine
limit
on the-
500. You're playing against some decent players.
Right.
All right.
So
Right.
you do want to protect your range with a little bit of pocket nines,
Okay.
at least.
I think you gotta have enough range protection with the lower sets, given you have them just as often.
Well, I think I would want to bet the lower sets more often since you don't block the top pair.
Yeah, but he has so few nines in his three betting range. You're really not, you're blocking nothing. You know? He's got overpairs that he usually doesn't check back.
Yeah.
And he's got an awful lot of Broadway. And the Broadway always gonna fold, unless I make a tiny bet. And I can make a tiny bet,
Well,
bet small.
that's what I was thinking about 5 big blinds.
Yeah, bet small to induce. 5 big blinds isn't insulting enough. 5 you can fold, 5 he can reasonably fold to. 3 or 4,
I
Just-
mean,
just go 3 and just have him just look at you with hate and fury.
the way I think about, like, I don't want to check hoping that an ace or king comes up because that's only,
Yeah.
if he has ace, king, ace, that's only 6 outs for him. And then possibly miss some hands that might have 2 streets of value against.
Yeah. Yep.
I
I
mean,
think-
you're checking hoping an ace hits to
Yeah.
get value.
Right. And I think now I bet here because I'm betting lots of my range here. To
Yeah,
try,
when it goes check, check. 6-8 suited is not in range, so I don't think you have large bets.
Mhm.
But if 6-8 suited was still in your range, which I doubt,
not folding.
you'd have
Yeah.
like some 23 big blind bets.
Sure. I think now I would bet 4 or 5 today on this. Anywhere between, 4 and 10. Okay, but I check. And the king is not what I was waiting for. Now I have to bet. So I bet and he folds, and that's that. Okay. Fold, raise, fold. Nope, raise call. This jack deuce suited here. Small, small blind versus, big blind versus small blind. Yeah. You can call this. I was wrong.
Raise it.
You can call it.
Okay.
It's right on the cusp.
No, I think typically in the big blind, blind versus blind, you're gonna be raising more of your offsuit than your suited.
But not, but now I remembered it. I forgot the pattern.
Yep.
There's this.
Scotty, change it to no limit 500.
I don't think I have NL 500.
Yes, you do.
No, it doesn't. I don't know that it gives it to me. Let's see.
Oh,
NL
go to 6
I'm
max.
not allowed. I'm not
Go
allowed
to
5.
6 max. Go to
Oh.
6 max.
6 max. 6 max. As if. All right, rake. NL 500. And we get small blind raising, big blind, same pattern.
Yeah,
Slightly
but
different.
it's much more calling.
Yeah, yep. But you still
'Cause
have,
the rake is lower. You're not incentivized to win the pot pre-flop.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Scott, I'm with you. That's that little section that we've learned, right? That those bottom range tens and jacks.
Yeah. this is
And those,
this is an important swash to remember, and I forgot it. So there you go. And there's no folding with this jack deuce here. So good on you. I was wrong in both ways. All right. Paired board. So if you're gonna bet, you're gonna bet small. Paired board, he misses a lot of it. You have an ace, you have a lot of showdown value, blind versus blind. You can check call, you can bet out. You
Yeah,
should-
what I've noticed here is that, I mean, our strategy just mixes across
Yeah,
tons of different board textures in this wide range versus wide range
Yeah.
configuration.
here we go.
Yeah, if you check, you can't fold an ace high yet.
Yeah, you can't fold yet, especially, and you have the 9, even better. The 9 is something. It's not a lot, but it's something. Backdoor flush in position, 1 overcard. Sixes and 7s are in the small blind range. I would just get away. I would fold. Tournament players don't fold here, I don't think. But they don't value human life the way we do.
I'd raise.
Yeah.
I'd
so,
raise it.
Okay, that's enough for you to raise. 3 to a flush on a paired board, you don't need 3 to a straight. I thought I needed 3 to a flush and as my bottom on a paired board.
See, to me, I look at blind versus blind a lot like heads up poker,
Mhm.
and heads up, I just look for anything
Just
at
anything.
all to get aggressive,
All right, it would have worked.
and it typically works.
Would have worked that time. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ace 10 can raise here in the pre. Does he have any folds of ace 10?
I think
Yeah.
ace 10
10 mixes.
from that seat might mix. It might have some.
Ace 10
fold.
mixes. Ace 10
Yeah,
mixes here, folds.
that's the
And with the
cusp.
big blind having pocket queens, I definitely fold it there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But unfortunately, if he folds, everybody else folds, except maybe villain 4 will do something, but not. But he doesn't. Yay. Good on you. Good on you. Folds around to the queens that are going to 3-bet. There we go.
I think Insolver can mix.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now
Uh,
ace 10 should fold.
Right, and at this stack depth, we don't have this, we don't have NL 500 for 9-handed, so we'll put him there. Is ace 10 mixed, one for that, but he raised. We get over to the big blind with the queens, there is
Oh,
no
no
calling
mixing.
with queens. No calling with queens, not against low jack,
That,
earlier position.
is that because of the rake structure now? Because you're calling more of the other stuff, and this is where you need to now.
Well, no, because I think it's mainly because it's low jack instead of under the gun 2.
Okay, yeah.
Here you've got. Here your queens mix. But once you get, move that to the low jack.
Yeah, once you
The
move
queens
it
are now
to,
gonna be about 75% or so. raising. You know, there's some, and then by the hijack, they're raising pure.
But at
Okay.
500 NL from the low jack, it's raising pure as well, as opposed to 25%-ish call.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So here we go. And so there's his 50% in NL 50. You know, there's his mixing the tens. And of course, the tens, the ace 10 has to fold
oh,
here.
Scotty,
Yeah.
go back really quick. I wanna
Yep.
see something.
Yep.
Go to, just click on low jack,
Low jack.
full range 17.6. Go to six max NL 500, see if it's the same,
Okay.
or if his, or does his range expand with the lower
Right.
rate?
All right. Here we go. 6 max. NL 500. Let's see it. And the range is
17.5, it goes down a bit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe the queens are doing something different, cause maybe his range is a little bit wider.
there we go. And he folds away 25%-ish equity, 25 to 30% equity. And that's a good thing. I'm happy to see him fold. All right. Fold, 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 raise a fair amount, but some folds, fold, 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 call, defend this 8-9 clubs or raise it. This is a 3-bet and against the hijack, 8-9 of clubs has got some 3-betting there. Not a ton.
I've
But-
noticed that
Oh, yeah,
8-9 suited
understood.
is the one suited connected combo that solver seems to hate the most.
8-9
To
being
3-bet,
a broken
3-bet.
stack.
Oh, he's broken. Yeah. He still doesn't fold it though. He plays it. He's
Oh
not,
no, he's not, I'm talking about ace-9 is kind of borderline from that spot. I'm
Yep.
trying to think, do you wanna play it? But I'm thinking maybe, since it's offsuit and a top pair type hand, maybe it does better versus a broken stack.
I think so.
So
I think
maybe
you wanna play it
it.
against a broken stack.
I mean,
Maybe you wanna play this hand a little more versus broken stack.
yep, this is I mean, ace jack off, yeah, much better, but you don't get to choose your cards. But yeah, offsuit big cards go up in value against broken stacks and suited connectors go up in value against deep stacks and suited aces. So he goes to 2.5. Hero is gonna fold, right? Good. And the 8-9, given that he's broken, does that incentivize him more or less to 3-bet this? I think less.
It has less value.
Less value, and so when called, it's a worse hand. You can't get as much from it.
And just
So,
looking at from a human factor, I think someone who's on a broken stack is gonna find less 3-bets with this
yeah,
combo.
get it in cheap, yeah. I think that's a good adjustment. Check bet call, if that's what it comes to. Don't fold yet. You haven't lost enough money with middle pair, or donk out on a jack high board. You do not have donks here. It's gonna work. But this is not I believe this is not solver approved.
I concur. Yep.
So there we go. So that's what we wanna see, right? So I like this play. It maybe I shouldn't like it, but I like this play because I think sometimes this is the combos that we're looking at dunking, especially at this size, right?
Yeah.
I think that the fish here is going to also sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes telescope the value of his hand by his bet size, his donk size.
Right.
So I like this play.
Yeah. And
Even
I'm
though
gonna,
he's got no backdoor, well, he's got a little, but I don't find it enough, but I like it.
so here's a heuristic on this. Villain 5's donk is often in his mind, I'm betting to see where I'm at. So lie to him.
Yeah. But it is to see where you at.
That's the
Sometimes.
exploit. It's not a GTO thing because this is not a GTO thing. And so there is no GTO response. And he's not yet, but you didn't expect it to work that easily. Check. King is good for your range. The flush doesn't complete, the straight doesn't complete on him.
Such awkward size though, such awkward stack sizes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is awkward.
All
it
in isn't awkward.
because your river bluff isn't big enough, Derek. That's what's
No,
left.
no. You bet 33.83 now.
Now, yeah, just
That's
just
not
make it
awkward.
not awkward. So he
Oh,
does.
that's terrible.
That's the, I'd rather see him going like 7.
So he can jam.
Yeah. Or either jam now or bet like 7. But that bet is like the worst option of all options, I think.
I can see why. Yeah, Joey, say give your reason. So if anybody's listening who doesn't already agree, I agree.
Well, if you bet 7, then there's 35 in the pot and 20 and a 20, like a 28 big blind shove,
Mhm.
or just shove now, put him to the test now.
Right.
But with this, once he calls this, you can't bluff him out of the pot with 51 in the pot and
And
16
18 left.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
18. Yeah. 17 left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're taking away your option on river.
And if you go check to make the bigger bet on the river, that looks like spades to him. And so he calls you. So I think I like Derek's best here.
Can we go back to flop and talk about his imposition range to the donk? Because
Yeah.
I'd like to find this more. Is this a viable, first question to the group, is this a viable play?
I probably wouldn't pick this combo, but
I
yeah,
wouldn't do it with this combo, but yes, it is.
So you'd like to have a combo that has more backdoor equity, some kind of ability to improve.
A spade.
Well,
right?
One
this-
spade.
This is something of an older tactic. And maybe it still works in some of these games. But pre-solver, I raised 100% of my range versus a dunk bet.
yep, so did I. And this was back, yeah, early on 2000s kind of stuff, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was running up to almost 2020. But once solvers came out and more people understood when they can dunk bet, that's when it kind of stopped as a strategy.
When can you donk bet, Joey? Because I have
Not-
a no donk bet strategy.
Not here.
Like
This
when
is
do you
not a
choose to
dunk bet board.
So we'll
If
answer
you're,
the
if you're
question.
in the big blind, the boards that tend to give you a dunk bet are 8 or lower, or 7 or lower, depending on where the open came from, and it completes a straight.
So
Like 7-6-5 is the best board to dunk on.
that's the donk bet board. Okay,
Scotty,
okay.
your text is
Oh,
in
you're right.
screen.
Thank you. Okay. Let's see what idiot
Okay.
things my friends say.
It's still
So-
in screen. Just make sure in case something is
Yeah.
private on there.
There we go.
So Derek, one way to think about it is that,
Just put
well,
wrong.
in
wrong-
theory, the concept is that you have the nut advantage. You possess the absolute nuts that the imposition player does not have.
Okay.
So that means the easiest example would be there's a flop straight available and you're the only one who has it.
And just to give you a perfect example of this, 3, 4, 7. He doesn't have any 6-8 suited. You have all the 6-8 suited. You didn't fold any 6-8 suited in the big blind to a single raise.
Well, 3-4-7 would not give you a straight with 6-8
3, 4,
suited.
did I say, no, 3, 4, 5, oh, sorry, 3, 4, 6, and you've got, yeah, 3, 4,
7-5.
6. You've got 7, 5, he has no 7, 5.
Okay. All right. That's great.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go back to like,
With
so
7, he does have 5
I'd
plus.
like to incorporate this more. So we were talking about how this used to be a thing back in the day, and so what were you saying, Joey?
Oh, back in the day, the strategy used to be 100% range raises a dunk bet.
Just donk
If I
bets are
see a
too.
dunk bet, I would just raise it. I don't care what I had.
Yep. And it was super effective.
And so now, obviously, maybe we want a little bit more potential to improve here.
Yeah, nowadays you want something like if you had the ace of spades,
Yeah,
You want some backdoor action going on.
and a 9 alone.
nine of spades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause then you got backdoor.
But the offsuit 9, just the 9 and an ace, not my favorite combo. Also, ace high has got showdown value. You don't have to fold this
That's a
immediately,
very good point.
so
so-
I'd rather,
Let me throw another idea at you guys real quick. if
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So my argument, my theory is that this dunker is going to be more transparent with their value on turn, depending on their size. So what I see a lot is that they make this size, imposition calls, and then on turn, they bet small again, or they polarize to like a pot. And I am theorizing that their turn sizing is very much correlated to their hand strength, which allows you then to steal it if they're then going to transparently with their size, make a turn bet that's smallish.
right.
I
I mean, you see, go on.
I really believe that most people who dunk out in a non-theoretical donking board have a hand like this.
Yeah,
Somewhere around middle pair, a marginal made hand that they just don't know where they're at.
Or top pair on a very low board where they know the next card is going to be bad.
yeah, good point.
7-3 deuce, I've got a 7.
So if it's some, large frequency, this is a marginal hand on the right board with the right turn card, maybe then at that point we can steal
Yeah.
it because they're being more transparent with their sizing on turn.
Yeah, I mean, we like that king. That king helps our bluff.
It gets through. Okay, thanks, guys.
All right.
Oh, also, another old play that you might be able to pull out of a playbook is if you just call the flop and he checks the turn, it
Yeah.
was at one point 100% bet when they see bet check.
Float the
Okay.
flop. Float the
Flip
flop
the
ace high.
turn.
Yep. All right. Fold, 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 raise, fold, fold, 10 jack against the cutoff.
Fold.
I think it could be in there. In 500?
It's worth it 500, I would think.
Ugh, I hate
No,
it.
the rake is, I'm not talking about 500 deep, 500 no limit. Low rake.
Right, I know.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I
oh.
guess.
Right.
I don't study that. I don't study
That makes
500, so that could be.
Yeah, of course. That doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not worse at 500. There's not worse implied odds. It's just more money. Okay. Fold, 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 raise to 2.5, fold, 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 call.
That's a horrible. Oh, he's the broken.
And he's
so.
broken and he doesn't have enough. It's a bad play and it's an even worse play off a short stack.
Now 10 jack should definitely fold.
Yeah. Not that makes it more, that makes it worse for 10 jack, not better. That's the thing we got to remember.
Right.
he-
A lot of people make the mistake thinking they got better pot odds now.
Yep. Every week we say that same thing over and over again. We're saying it again. Yep. Good play. Well,
And it's the one flop pocket kings does not want to see.
oh, could not be more hated. Check, check. Pick up a club, pick up a club, pick up a club. No. Check, check. 7. And after this next check, I think the kings can bet small. I think the kings can bet
No.
now.
They can't bet small, but they can bet, I think.
I mean, they can bet 3 big blinds.
Yeah, I wouldn't fault him for checking behind either
Oh,
though.
he can check behind. He gets called early. But there he goes. So this is
That's not a thing.
this is not a theory approved thing according to Matt Affleck and many solvers. But other solvers do it and other coaches do it. So exploitatively, just begging to get called by pocket sixes, a 7 or an 8.
We've talked about this, and yeah, it's very rare. I found some spots where betting 33% in position on the river. I found a few spots.
Where the solver,
This is not one. I don't think this is one of them, but I'm just saying I did find some, but it is rare
In position?
in
Yeah,
position on
it
the
does
river.
happen. It does happen. It's rare.
Right.
And my guideline for that is unless you know this is one of those exceptions, I just go 50% or more.
that's what my default is. And it's, of course, not gonna matter. All right. Fold, fold,
Fireworks.
ace five is a fold there, jacks raise, fold. Queen ten suited does some three betting in this position. And
No, I don't know if they three bet against hijack.
I would expect that it's there a little bit. Let's see. There's
Um,
your-
I
How
think
about
queen
that?
nine suited, well,
This guy does not belong playing for $500. But also, he's not playing for $500. He's playing for $150. This is beyond terrible. With this, now the queen ten is incentivized more to squeeze. And also, he can call. I don't know if it's solver approved, but it's not terrible
yeah,
logic.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know if the solver will let us do it. I'm interested in seeing just that pre-flop stuff there.
But the reason I was
so-
saying queen ten, because the bottom of the offsuit range for the hijack is offsuit tens.
Right,
You typically do not want to block their bottom cards.
right. So we'll take a
So I
look at that.
think queen
and then-
nine suited or queen jack suited would be three bet more often than queen ten suited.
All right,
The other issue I would have here is, with the squeeze with queen ten is I would be concerned about a shove from broken stone.
yeah,
But he is capped, right? He flatted, so maybe not.
But if you make it 10, do you almost have to call?
against broken stack, yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not,
if everybody else fold, if say you make it 10, actually you'd probably want to make it 12 or something if you
Yeah.
raising there.
7.5,
I don't think you could fold
10,
if everybody else folds and
11,
broken stack
13.5.
shoves.
Yeah, I wanna go 13.5 or 14 when I make this squeeze, and when he shoves on it, I'm calling.
So now the question is, what size is king going? I
Wee!
think this is like 18.
Yeah.
19?
7.5, 10, 12.5
6.
plus, so it's 12.5,
I think,
plus
well, we start with 14,
15.
right?
15. 15's enough.
I think we start with 14 here.
Yep.
And then we add 15, so 16, 17, 18, yeah, like,
Yeah, I think 15's the bottom.
Yeah,
I think like 18.
Four,
Right.
four
The
X
question
plus
is-
2 calls is the bottom, so that would be 15.
yeah, because you remember that one big blind in there is already yours. You add that in when you're doing it from the small blind as extra money. Here, it's part of your bet.
I would be making it even bigger because you're looking at 200 big blinds deep here versus all of your other opponents.
That is an excellent point.
That's
That-
true.
Mike this is the first one that pointed that. This
Good
has
idea.
got to be bigger at 200 big blinds.
Okay,
25,
wait. Exploit.
25.
What about making sure that 28.83 can shove on top of it and we can still re-raise? And ISO,
Okay, so
is that too small? Let's see.
This came up, then you're in danger of having those other guys flat you and 8-9
if you
fold.
raise 12, be 14.
That's what I'm saying is if it's close to big enough, then I want to
you-
do it.
I
If
think
not
you'd have
big
to
enough,
go
then-
somewhere around 12 for him to reopen the action for you.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can
I'm
make it
with Mike
14.
on this. I don't think that's a good life choice because you're just giving too good a price with ace king.
okay, we go to 15. The raise is 12.5. He jams for 28.83, which is 13 on top of it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, the 15 is close. So that's why I don't want to push the 15 up. I don't want to go half a big blind too big to eliminate that possibility. So I think in this situation, I want to go exactly 15.56 or whatever the number is that lets him exactly reopen it.
Oh, so you just don't want to invoke the partial bet rule.
Exactly.
That's a different story.
If I'm gonna go 21, I'm
Like-
fine.
Like if we make it 17 and pocket jacks call and they shove and we can't
Jam over the top.
5 bet, then, or 4 bet, whatever that would be, 5 bet.
Yeah.
Then jacks is never folding.
Right, exactly. That's why that's what I'm saying. So with that, I think it is 15.3. Come on, villain.
Alright,
14.
Don't be that nitty. It could be 15.
Okay, but it can't be 16, I think, is the number that kills me. Let's see. 16 is a raise of 13.5. And then he's got, after 16, he's got 12.83. It can't be six. It can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 is fine, but
14.
I'd rather make it more.
But then this happens.
Oh,
He does it. All right. This deep, you do not jam ace king here.
This is terrorizing with ace king. I don't know what I'd do.
well,
Cool.
let's see what happened. Oh, no, you don't fold.
It's not a fold. It's a call.
Hmm. How,
I don't
about four-
I don't
what about
know
a
if you
4-bet?
call in position.
All right. We are looking at this pre-flop fun.
I wouldn't say shoving would not be out of the question.
No, but at 200 big blinds deep,
I
your
don't
ace-
know if you get shoves this deep,
I
man.
think that they get a little more careful.
As a
There's
5-bet?
some shoving. There's some shoving, but I don't think it's 100% shove. I think the ace king suited does. I think that it's the opposite. Where, I think it goes more ace king suited than ace king. All right. NL
I think
500.
ace king suited might have calls.
Right.
Well, first thing is that it's gonna be hard to replicate the, you might, if
We
we
can't
wanna
do-
get really nerdy, you might be able to go to pre-flop only ranges, which are free. So pre-flop only, and then some configuration might give us 4 callers.
All right.
Well, I don't think any configuration is going to give us that many callers.
Right. Let's just see a little bit of it. Let's see what.
Well,
and
Joey,
nobody give us the,
I could be wrong, but from what I recall is that you do sometimes get some extra callers.
okay, I don't have this, I don't have the 200 big blind stack for that. So anybody got that?
I'll check.
No,
Because we need a 200 big blind stack here.
I gotta
What
move to
position
another
did he open
computer. I
from?
might have it, but I have it on a different, I gotta move to a different location.
Okay.
So who's the initial raiser? What's the initial raiser's position?
1, 2, he's a hijack.
Hijack, raise.
I'm checking poker coaching too.
Then we get a call from button.
Call from button.
We get a call from small blind.
Yes.
Okay, we get a raise. Okay, so
All right, let's see this.
raise
Let's-
from big blind.
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, here we go.
Who
So I'll
opened
share.
first? Scotty?
Hijack.
Hijack.
Hijack opens, button calls, ignore what his hand is. We're not discussing his hand.
All right, can you guys see
Oh,
my
small
screen?
blind calls.
All right, so let's see. So we got, going back, I want to see the small blinds range. Would you just click on the small blinds
Sure.
column there? I want to see that queen 10 suited thing. Queen 10 suited still does some squeezing.
So the big thing, the first big takeaway is that NL 500 rake, we've got a lot of flats there.
Yeah. Fours.
I am still
all they have to-
occasionally shocked at the amount of flats we get at this rake structure.
All right. I
with a
like.
small blind.
Fold the button real quick before we go on, and let's see how much what the small blind does with his queen 10 now. He plays it and does some raising, so he doesn't care that much about it, about the offsuit 10 theory, but he does it less. But once the button calls, he wants to squeeze more, but he still has a. Okay, so that was what we thought. Good. Now moving on. Big blind.
Hey,
ace
something that might be considered. Did the small blind have 200 bigs too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
never mind.
small blind. Everybody's got 200 bigs.
So he's got an interesting calling range, but he raises to 16, right?
Yep. And that's my argument is that 16 is the wrong number.
And he's
Mm.
gonna, and
Well-
so,
Poker coaching does 15.
well, let's look at that next. So hijack gets, a much bigger cold five, I guess. No, I guess this is a five bet.
Well, he won 37 over 14. So 43 over 16 is not
Look at,
Fold.
drastically off.
look at the button being shooky shook.
It just folds. I think we can ignore the jacks here.
Small blind folds entire range, except for jacks. Yeah, that's crazy. And
But
big,
you get some shoves.
you get some shoves, but you get a lot of calls and you get more calls in the offsuit than the suited.
Yeah, and so you do get calls. That's surprising to me as well, that you get calls of this deep
Yep.
out of position.
But there is no,
We're mixing that across our entire range, right? I mean, we're calling more than anything. Now, this is not what I expected at all.
Yeah.
We're calling more than anything else.
I do not enjoy that raise with tens. Ugh. I enjoy
Well,
the fold with
It
tens.
makes sense with the SPR after that.
Yeah.
Pocket aces can call.
So
Yeah.
yeah, our SPR is 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess we gotta, I mean, it really comes down to what aces is doing, right? Aces
Yeah.
is mixing, so everything
Yeah.
else is mixing.
When you can put aces in there, then you could have a little bit more calls than you normally would.
Right.
So, the only question then, we do choose, well, there's a couple questions, but if we do choose to shove, what is his calling off range at 200 big blinds?
Jacks is indifferent, ace king's indifferent.
Yeah.
Right. Ace king suited goes, okay. Maybe
I
we
don't
have
think
it-
I think I'd fold ace king suited here. I don't think that there's enough, uh, well, there are hardly any bluffs. I don't think there's enough tens here.
Yeah. And eights.
He's gotta have tens and eights and queens that he's doing this with, and I just don't think it's happening.
I think queens are there.
Yeah,
I
you
think,
could be right.
I think queens are there even more than this.
Yeah, I think you have a good point. I think
Especially
something
if
like
it's me.
shove.
I think I'm misplaying queens there even more than this.
I think I'm more incentivized to rat hole like a, you know what, even more after looking at that.
Rat hole? I don't know that term.
Rat hole my 200 big blinds.
Oh, just say I don't want to lose any more money.
Well, I mean, rat hole is in when I get above 150 big blinds, leave the table.
Oh, okay. Just say I'm not enjoying this. Okay, great.
Okay,
Let me share PC.com real quick.
My camera is on.
Wait, I just had it up.
There we
we
go.
go.
That's what I,
And so why is this there? All right. So we got hijack opening for 3 in this one.
Mhm.
I did 8 max, and as far as I know, these are done without rake.
Yeah.
But it did give me button call and small blind call.
right?
Why is a small blind calling 2.5 and not 3?
Because he's already got a half in there.
Oh, it's
Well-
on, it's, I gotcha.
So the 3-bet size for the big blind here is 15,
Which I think is the perfect size given.
and about 34 for hijack.
Yep.
And then, like we saw before, there's
Everybody's folding. You just have
the
no.
little bit of slivers. They
Yeah.
have almost no chance of being in hand.
Yeah.
He has a tiny sliver of pocket jacks here.
Yeah.
And then ace king calls a tiny bit, shoves about 50%, and then 5 bets.
Interesting.
about
And here they're doing the ace
25%.
king suited that you said, not the one I said. That's an
Yeah, the
interesting-
ace king suited, I'd be more likely to call.
Yeah.
And then shove ace king off.
Yep, that's what they does.
But in this one, aces don't mix any calls.
Nope.
I think that's a fine exploitative change.
Hey, Scotty. Hey, Scotty.
I think Scotty's muted.
Scotty, you're
I
muted.
kept saying yes, yes. I'm
Oh,
muted.
hey,
Yes.
allow me to share my screen. I brought it up on another machine
Okay.
here, or moved to my other location.
Mhm.
Check this. So this is. Can't get this out of here. Move this out of the way. There we go. So there is. Notice the difference there. 2.5x open, 17.5x big blind 3-bet,
Right?
44
Oh,
hijack, and
this is a
we wind up.
live,
This is
this is
yeah,
a
9
live
max
rake,
live,
which is
10%.
super high rake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would be interesting to see what
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, I like that. And here we see the same pattern of the ace king suited going all in more than the ace king offsuit. All right.
I don't know, if I'm gonna have a call with one of them, I'd rather call with the suited.
No, I understand that. The logic of that is great. The argument the other way is you're calling that ace king to get away with it, to get away from it. The ace king offsuit. And the ace king suited goes, great. If I get in against ace king offsuit, I'm doing fabulous. And he's not folding the ace king offsuit. That's the counter logic to it. But your logic of ace king offsuit is easier to play after the ace king suited is easier to play after the flop. Therefore, I don't mind calling it is perfectly fine.
Can you stack off with ace king offsuit in the big blind versus this like a 4-bet all in 200
But-
bigs?
Yep.
What we can definitely say is we saw almost no folding with ace king in that spot.
Very little folding with the ace king.
So I had a situation this weekend where I 3-bet some old guy with ace king. No, I bet ace king. I got 3-bet. I 4-bet about 33 big blinds, and then I got 5-bet, and I decided, you have aces, don't you? I folded, and he showed me aces.
If he
So,
looks like me, if he looks old like me, fold.
yeah. So I figured
If it is me,
old
fold.
guys don't 5-bet with kings or anything
Exactly.
else,
Yep.
So,
Oh,
was it a mistake to 4-bet someone with
No.
ace king off?
No. No.
I don't know about you guys, but I just looked at poker coaching.
Yeah.
Pocket jacks has no 4-bets. It's all a call.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe only like in the blind. Well, I don't know.
He did something non-standard there. And one of the problems, by the way, with the ace king in that particular configuration, though, is you are so, even when you're up against his pocket pairs, usually one of your aces is dead in one of those other three hands, in one of those other three calls, or other two callers. So that
People
makes it,
play a lot of aces, yeah.
that makes it that makes it problematic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Tens raise, fold, 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 fold. Ace six suited, should fold, but can't, if he chooses to call, it doesn't surprise me. 5-7 should defend against the tens, and it should also defend even if the ace six comes along. It should not defend if the ace six raises. There's your raise. He folds. This 5-7 should absolutely call.
Short stack even.
What? Oh, he's
Villain
broken.
3 is broken.
No, he's broken. No, it's a terrible hand. Life is terrible. Everything is
I'd say-
bad.
I'd
But
say
it's
fold the
probably
5-7.
It's probably, though, he probably still needs to call 1.5. Even with short stack play, whatever the short stack strategy is, he probably needs to call this.
I don't think so. But
It's-
you probably know better than I do. But
I don't know.
I
I don't
wouldn't.
know shorts. I don't know short stack ranges. You want to throw in the pre-flop only short stack range of this once? Let's see if we can. Let's just look at this. Pre-flop only. 6 max. Let's get some stack sizes here. Pre-flop only, 6 max. Stacks. I don't got it. Anybody got this?
30 is close enough.
I don't got 30. It's locked.
Oh,
Oh, wait, I'm at NL 500. Let's go to NL 50 and see if if it opens up. Nope.
Go to post flop included, it might be in there. There you go.
There we go. Let's go to 40. Thank you. Well done. All right, so at 40, he gets a raise from here and the big blind range, even at 40. It's still, look at it, it's a robust tail. It's a fatter tail.
Ooh.
None of
Compared
all
to
these-
NL 50, it is, it's extremely different.
Yeah, look at, yeah, all these are folds deeper. You're never worried about a flush over flush. And a single pair is good enough. You're not worried about any reverse implied odds.
It's also a
Power
min,
of 5 big blinds per 100 in rank.
Yeah,
that's also a min raise there, Scotty, too. That's
Yeah.
gonna,
so min raise, let me see if I can change that. Let's go to the opening size. I don't have, if anybody's got a better model.
yep, I got it.
All right, let's see it. Yeah, because you're right, min raise is, it's so fat because of the min raise, not because of the stack size. But I still think 5-7 is gonna be in there. All right.
Is participants in the way to you? Am I moving something right now?
Nope, we can see it. We can see
Okay.
it without, we don't see your Zoom part of your world.
Okay, yeah, so there's the difference between 2.5 at NL 50.
Woof. Okay, now do we have it at NL 500? Let's see if we have it. Because the 5-7 is marginal now. 30 big blinds. NL 500. 5-7, pure,
So I
but
was
not all
wrong.
that other
I was
nonsense.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Thank you, Mike. Okay, so there is our call. He calls it. Great. And I guess he's gonna check raise all in. With his short stack with this. Check, bet, small enough, yeah. Or does he just call? Nope, he wants to get there. And now the tens. Ugh. Tens should just check behind and let him get there. Yep. And now
That's
does
an
he,
interesting card.
right. Does he turn this into a bluff? Seems like a bluffable card for him. His hand is certainly
Yeah.
bluffable.
I'm sure he's going to.
Nope, he
Yep.
just gives up. And then this guy can value bet. And not get called. There we go. And he does a little bit more than half pot. All right. Fold, start with what we should happen. Fold, 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 fold. Ace-6 open. Raise, fold, king deuce offsuit, fold. That's what should happen. What's gonna happen? I think the ace-nine's fold. I think that's really what's gonna happen. There we go. Okay. What should happen? Fold, raise, fold, 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 fold. That's what should happen. And it does. All right. Fold, 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 raise, fold, call and 3-bet, fold, fold. Does that sound right to you? That this
Yeah.
makes
Yeah, and
all 3-bets?
yeah, it does. And fives are gonna have some folds and whiz anyway.
Yeah, okay, so there we go. There's the raise. He goes for the 3-bet. And the fives, this deep should call the 3-bet, right? Now that's a
No,
little
not
bigger.
necessarily.
No?
It mixes, I think.
Oh,
Yep, it'll be a mix with mostly folds.
Yeah, but that's a large 3-bet in position.
yeah, that's the thing. That should be that should be more like 6.6. So I guess he can fold more. All right. But you're saying the fives to a normal size 3-bet, the fives mix folds.
Still mostly fold, yep.
Wow.
Can I ask a quick question here on this hand?
Yeah.
So for those guys online who are playing with a HUD, which has a full hand history with player names, are the fives worth more against a 3-better with 6%? Are they worth more against a 3-better with 15% 3-bet?
15%.
You think so?
I would almost say, I can see why you're leaning the other way. I want you to have aces when when I hit my set. I don't want you to have hands that you can fold. And if you have hands that you can fold, I'm not gonna, and I don't hit a set, you're gonna bet me out of the pot.
Yes, so
And
yes, I
fives are a call.
telegraphed what my opinion was, which is, are these worth more when villain's three betting range is more linear, which means he's gonna pay us his entire stack the 13% of the time we actually hit the set.
Right.
I
And
had a strange
my
hand.
gut is telling me that the more linear his range, the tighter his three bet range is, the more the value of the fives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but the more chances that of set over set if his range is primarily over pairs.
yes,
Yep, because that
true too.
eliminates fives. He's not.
He doesn't have five,
It's
but
so rare though.
but the overcards we really hate are ace, king, queen, jack, right? Those are the ones we hate the most against somebody who's doing, somebody who has a 5% or a 4% three bet stat. And the other guy, when those hands come in, he has a single pair a lot. This guy only has sets.
That's a good point. That's a good point, Scotty.
Yeah,
He's gonna
That-
have more Broadway ace, king, ace, queens,
yeah, that's
king, queen. That's a very
that
good,
is scary. And there are not a lot of flops that don't contain an ace. There are not a lot of boards that don't contain ace, king, queen, or jack by the river.
see escape. Yeah, so maybe
I
they
see.
wash each other out. Maybe it's not that quite simple.
But I see,
But
but I see
in
the
the
thought.
solver, to a 3x 3-bet fives call like 90% of the time.
Good. That's what I
They
thought.
don't fold.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Scotty, I told you wrong. Fives down to twos call 100%, but then you
Right.
fold sixes through nines with
Right.
some frequency.
That's the pattern that I thought it was. I thought it had that that it had that hammocky shape. But good. Thank you, Joey. And thank you, Mike, for being wrong.
But it is indifferent, so once he goes 4x, I could see a fold.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
I had a strange hand on the weekend where like I cold called a 3-bet on the button with eights.
That's not good.
Like we're like 600 big blinds deep. Effective.
Yeah, I never
I
play
figured-
that, but I do wonder what happens with our speculative hands at that stack depth. I'm not sure.
I
Yeah.
fold. I still fold because you're not guaranteed
Right.
to see a flop for that price.
Yeah.
I
You're
would
not,
guess it depends a lot on who the initial raiser is, and if he is tuned up to the fact he can now four bet a wider range with your capped range with the flat.
Well, like-
so if you have a strong read that the initial raiser does not four bet,
the initial raiser only
That's
had like 100 big blinds.
doesn't
So
matter.
I'm mainly playing, I think, against the guy who had 600 big blinds.
That's not your fear. Your fear is not whether your fear is
So-
that you don't get, is that you waste 7 big blinds and don't see the flop.
He three. So let's say he opened for 3-bet to 9. You're calling 9. It gets back to the original person. He 3-bets to 27. How do you
4-bet.
feel about your eights now?
Well, if it gets like 6-bet, I don't know. But
Doesn't
if
even
it's
have to
just-
get 6-bet. He goes to 27, the other guy calls. Do you want to put in another 18 to try to set mine?
Well, like if they're 600 deep, right?
Right.
If I flop my set and he has aces,
Okay,
I'm like doing a happy dance, right?
Derek, have you seen in the charts? Actually, the deeper you get, the less that smaller and medium pairs want to set mine, because there's more reverse implied odds of set over set.
Oh, okay. Because I guess I'm playing it wrong.
I think, yeah,
Because because I figured even if he goes to like 27 big blinds, I'm still getting like
I mean, the
20 to
most we
1
have
with.
is. The
we
most we
lose
have
Edward?
is 200, but eights mostly fold to the 3-bet.
Okay, can I
You're
share my
raising-
screen? I just like so you're saying I probably should fold to a cold 3-bet?
Yeah.
600 deep?
Unless you're the one who gets to, I mean, you get to close the action and you don't get to do that. Yes, when it's to you cold, it's a fold.
Okay, because I called.
So
Yeah.
in theory, after there's an RFI and a 3-bet and you're behind, you don't have any flats.
Your hand is good enough to 4-bet or not good enough to play. That's the feeling behind that. Violate it at your own, discretion. And one of the reasons behind that is that first player still can re-raise you out of the pot. If you believe something about them, either from a tell by the look on their face when they get 3-bet, like, oh God, all right, fine, this again, that you're not going to get 3-bet, then that problem goes away. You still have the reverse implied odds problem set over set, but the real problem is that you throw in 9 big blinds and you don't even see the flop.
Okay, so I might
And
be
how often
playing
does that happen?
deep wrong.
I think, well, again, how many 4-bets do you see at your table? If
I've seen a 4-bet once yesterday, last time I
Okay,
played. Like
then-
and that was
then-
so basically I'm playing 1-3.
Yeah.
Which people almost never like. I rarely see a 3-bet.
if they, well, the rarer the 3-bet, well, then again, you're set mining. So I'll stop saying that.
Well,
The 4-bet is almost non-existent, then cold calling becomes more viable. Whether it
But
is actually viable
only-
or profitable, I don't know.
Yeah, the only 4-bet that I saw all night was when I 4-bet ace king.
Okay, then
Every
maybe,
other time, no one hardly ever 3-bets. Like this is the most passive.
okay,
It's like
then-
shooting fish,
But-
basically.
but
Then it's
that would be
probably
more
not
of a
efficient.
reason to fold pocket eights.
Really?
but Joey, his point is this: if they're 3-betting so rarely that the guy has aces or kings, that he's really purely set mining, and he knows that when the flop is ace 8, he's in a lot of trouble. Or king 8, he's in a
Well-
lot of trouble.
What if it's queen 8? You
That's,
don't know.
yeah, yep, well, that's what we were
Jack
saying.
That's
eight.
true.
That's
Jack
what we
eight.
were saying about well, if there are no 3-bets, then jacks are probably not 3-betting.
What if it's ace 8 and he has kings? You're not stacking him.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I'm seeing this more in the solver. I used to think the same way, Derek. I'm not criticizing you.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
I
what
am,
see with
I'm
the
criticizing you,
solver-
Derek. Okay, go on, Joey.
What I'm seeing with the solver is it does set mining much, much, much less than I've been taught to do it.
Oh,
And I'm just like learning that solvers don't like set mining very much.
okay. Set mining is my religion. I'm not sure that.
Okay.
It honestly used to be mine too.
Yeah.
But from seeing more and more solves where the solver does not do it in times I would have insta set mine, it's just telling me that the way we used to think about set mining, there's something wrong with the way we were thinking about it.
Okay. Because okay, what am I think? So
I
basically,
think one of the
getting
mistakes
set
people
over
make,
set.
huh?
It's getting
Well, they're
set over
set over
set or
set.
something.
I think people overestimate the times they're actually going to stack somebody when they hit their set.
Can I just add something real quick there?
Yep.
That what Joey just said is very important. I think it's very player dependent. If you have someone who 3-bets you and is going to stack off with his pair of aces, to your aggression to get stacks in with your sets, then it's worth it. Solver's not
Okay.
gonna do that. Solver's gonna become indifferent when you begin to
What-
show,
what if he
show
has king-
aggression on a proper board.
Yeah, but
But
what if he
if
has
you do
kings and
have a
queens?
player who is going to, without thinking about it, stack off with his pair of aces and you have a set, then maybe it's worth it.
But Larry, it's, what if he has kings on an ace high board? You're not stacking them. You
Well,
might get one or two bets.
that's not the example I gave, but you're right, Joey. I gave an example where he had a pair of aces.
So, I think I've summarized it here. The three things that make it a problem is set over set, having to fold to a squeeze and the guy not stacking off, for example, kings when an ace falls. Okay?
Mhm.
So in the solver, where it does each of those things perfectly, it squeezes perfectly, it hits set over set perfectly, and it doesn't stack off incorrectly. It's not profitable. So you decide the two things. How often is your player pool wrong compared to the solver, and is it enough to make up for that? I believe you 100% that your player pool is way wrong compared to the solver. I am not sure if it's enough to make up for that. That's what I just don't know. So that's what you have to. And
I think you really have to KYC. You really have to know if the three better is going to stack off with his ace king when he hits ace 7-3 on a flop and you've got a set of seven.
And also you have to remember the numbers though. If they are 3-betting 5%, which is on the low end, pocket aces is only 10% of their total range.
Okay.
Since we're on this subject, can I just show something really quick about stack depth and set mining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since I had the pre-flop open. So this is hijack raises. Button three bets to 8. This is at 100 big blinds.
Mhm.
What are we doing now? Back in the hijack with our fives. Well, we're very indifferent, right?
Yeah.
With all our set mining and our suited connector. Now let's move this up to from 100 big blinds to 300 big blinds. See what happens. Oops. Yeah, now we want to set mine at a higher frequency.
But it's still folding. If it was a slam dunk set mine, pocket fours would never be folding. Pocket fives would never be folding.
All right, well, can we agree that it calls more?
Yes.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Okay, so that's my point, is that when we are deeper, our implied odds are greater that we're gonna call more with these combos.
Can we look at 600 big blinds?
Nope.
This
No
is our,
sovereign
this is our
goes that
limit.
high.
That's what we got. All right.
But
So
Okay.
let's do under the gun raise. Oh,
Uh-oh,
wow, you still
okay.
had that. Cause you have the deepest one.
All right, what would you like to look at?
The situation he was under the
Okay.
gun raise,
Under the gun plus 1 3-bet.
Which would
hijack
Cold
three
called with
bet,
eights.
and then, where were you on the button? Derek,
Oh,
where were you?
I was on the button.
You just don't have a calling range. It just says,
So in theory, yeah, this flatting behind three bet is not a play.
now look in the
However,
big blind. Let's look in the big blind, the hand, the next most likely hand place to have any flats. No flats.
yeah, we're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In
so
theory,
what-
right?
Yeah.
When there's an open and a 3-bet, unless you're one of the two players already involved, you're gonna 3-bet or fold, 4-bet or fold.
Wow. Okay, because what I was going to ask about this hand is I flop my set. It goes 8-4-2, 2 spades.
That's good.
And then the under the gun bets,
Mm-hmm.
the under the gun plus 1 raises. And I'm thinking, Vegas on the Mirage, like, so I re-raise it.
Just call.
Yeah, I screwed up because
Yeah.
because I
You have a
raised it
lock
because
on-
I was
you have
thinking
such a
I
lock
got to
on-
get all the money in.
Yeah.
So I screwed that hand up like majorly.
Yeah.
Every street.
Yeah, I think that's
They should-
one situation where you slow play for sure.
Yeah, and your call, alarm bells should be going off in their heads when you call, but maybe they won't be listening to those bells.
Mm. Yeah, because I like he bet, 25.
Th-
The under the gun one made it 125.
Or-
I make it 400.
In,
Just
in
call.
one, in 1-3 live, they might not even recognize, like, if one bet and the other one raised and you just call, it's likely not even, maybe not even bat an eye. They might not even notice you and just be battling it out with the other two. And
Uh,
they could put all the money in for you. But
Yeah.
once you raise,
Somebody knows to fold. Somebody with one pair knows he has to fold.
yeah, so I totally screwed that hand up.
Okay. Let's see. Am I sharing? No, I'm not. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We haven't played this hand yet. So we've seen this already. Ace 10 offsuit here is about a 50% raise, 50% fold. And this time this guy decides to fold it. King, queen raises, 7, 7, three bets.
3-bet.
Hero folds, king, queen offsuit. I don't think he folds button versus small blind.
I may 4-bet that if I
Yeah.
get 3-bet.
Yeah.
Not
Alright.
saying it's right, but
All right, let's see what he does. Joey's at the table. And out of position to the 4-bet. I think you should fold your 7s.
Yeah, you're out.
Nope. Okay, this is a nice, and this is a nice 100 big blind deep. This is the world of 100 big blinds deep. Change back to classic 9 max. Oh, sorry, 6 max because we want to do the NL 500 rake. NL 500. And that's it. The raise size was 2.5. So there we go. This is our world. Button raises. 7's 3 bets. He has some calls there, but we don't need them. Comes back on the button with his king, queen off. He does not fold it. I like that. He chooses to 3-bet it this time. And 7's are,
oh, they're mostly calling.
yeah, these guys, yeah, you don't fold a pair. You do not fold a pair yet. And with the set mining math being off here, you're not getting your set mine
Hmm.
thing, but that's the thing. And he does. All right.
How about versus population? We're talking GTO wizard, solid players.
I don't think, I think the principle stays the same against population. You're not
No, what,
planning on taking
I
7.
think what he's asking is population mostly does not 4-bet with hands like king, queen, king, jack.
Nope.
So,
But the fact that 6s are not going to get to the river against the king, queen, and king, jack, unless it approves, these guys are going to bet you off the hand on the flop. So I think the
well,
theory
no,
is,
go back to the button range. I think what he's saying is if the button's only doing like jacks plus an ace king,
Yeah.
do you really want to be in there with pocket 7s against a tight 3-bet or 4-bet?
thought you did because I thought you were playing it primarily for the set mine that we were talking about. I thought that's what it was.
But after the 4-bet, I don't think
No,
you're getting right
set-
odds now.
No, you're
Sevens
not
have
getting,
sevens have value because of all the offsuit stuff that we are 3-betting.
okay.
If you look, go back
I
to the
think you-
small blind and look at the equity.
It would be a Pio node lock is how we would find it out.
Right, but we don't have that. Just go
I know.
look at the equity on
Yep,
the
I see
call,
that.
on the
Yep.
call.
Right, so small blind. The button, we get the button 3-bet and now the 7s. 0.34.
Yeah, so that's probably dropping out against a very tight range.
Yeah, and look at this. It is because they're sevens, because look, even though sixes call, look at the equity of sixes and fives. This is saying that sevens have showdown value.
Yeah, it has
If
showdown
all
value.
set
with-
mining, these numbers would be closer.
Yeah, if it would, because they have value against a wider range.
Yeah.
They lose that value once,
Once this nonsense goes away.
yeah.
Sounds good. But then again, there is flopping of sets. Check range, check range,
This
check.
should probably be check, check.
Yeah, yeah, he should, but he doesn't. He wants to know if the guy has an ace.
I don't know if he checks in a 4-bet pot.
I don't know either.
I think he's gonna bet a lot on this flop texture.
Sevens is just, he's just trusting the guy to have an ace. And so now, now the king, queen is an easy fold. And the sevens is saying, why did I raise? This is Derek, by the way, right here. This is Derek with these sevens. Well played, Derek. All right.
I like the set, bottom set raising.
Yeah, because the guy has a lot of ace in his range for it to
Yeah.
work. Yep. But that was the time it didn't.
So,
Right.
so it's never right to call a 3-bet.
No,
No,
Cold
that's
call a
not what we
3-bet.
said.
you don't cold call the 3-bet. If you're already in the pot, if you raise and somebody 3-bets you, there are a lot of calls, lots of calls.
But cold calling, you never cold call a 3-bet.
Never cold call a 3-bet.
Right.
Okay.
That's a simplification that you should play for the next 6 months.
Okay.
And then after you've done
Done.
that, see what it feels like. You can change
Okay.
it.
Good. I learned so much from this. I really appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah,
Good.
4-bet fold.
All right. We just did that hand. Oh, we're at the end of the sequence? No, we're not at the end of the sequence. We haven't played this yet. All right. Fours can mix some raises there, mostly folds there.
That's
1,
too
2,
early. I
3, 4.
folded ace-6 suited opens.
But the fours, I mean, the fours are not do not have a 0 here. They have a percent to play. But it's mostly, it's
Yeah, I think my bottom, I think is like sixes there.
That's fine. Just being aware, and DTO likes it more than GTO for DTO reasons. But the ace-6 opens, yes, and folds around to the queen-10, who should not defend against a low jack. He should just fold.
I think
would-
our broken stack's gonna play. See a flop.
Oh, it's broken stack versus broken stack.
Ah, that's true, broken stack. 4 is open.
At full range, I might defend with queen 10 now.
Here's
Yeah.
a question for you guys. You've got the fours here, but you've got the broken stack fish in the big blind. Does your range now extend down to 4?
No,
No,
No, I
because
think I would tighten.
because he can do it.
I would tighten up with the implied odds types hands.
Okay. So you're playing the theory, not the man. That's fair enough.
I like
Because-
folding more against the broken
We-
stack. The broken stack has more jams. What
We
did you?
also know he's a calling station pretty much, so. Seeing
Yeah.
that, you don't want to play small pairs against calling stations.
Yeah, good point.
Given that this guy's only got 24 big blinds, I think he should fold his ace-6 suited here.
yeah. Full stack, you should fold.
I fold, and for 1, the queen-10 should call. He has no reverse implied odds. He's not worried about being dominated. Got a spade.
Yeah, he's got a check raise opportunity
He
here.
could check, he could
Definitely.
check jam this and just go, okay. Check, bet. It's small enough. Come on, play those.
Fine
30
check raise, dude. You can do it.
Just jam it. Check jam, not even raise. All right, fine. That's good for your range. Villain 4 should not bet.
You could have dunked this turn.
He could have,
Yeah, small
Good
blind
donk.
could have donked. That was a
That's a good
donking
donk.
turn.
yeah, that's a good donk turn. Check, check. And I was about to say that villain 5 should bet the river, but now that he's hit his 10, he should not, he should check call.
You could bet 2.
You could bet 2. You could bet 3.48.
Yeah, that's a bit large, I think.
I think he thinks he's bluffing. And I don't think he's gonna bluff a guy off a jack, so he's not bluffing. And he's not definitely not gonna bluff a guy off an 8, and everything else he has beat.
But if fours are gonna call half pot bet,
Then that's pretty
Value
good.
bet.
bet.
That's pretty good, Ken. All right.
Yeah, I think villain one is making a common mistake against fish. In that, oh, well, he's a broken stack, he's a fish, so I'm just gonna call, which I think is.
Well, also I induced. I did this to get, I mean, I intended when I checked here to call a reasonable size bet.
Well,
Yeah,
I think,
that's fair.
Terrible card to
honestly,
do it.
I think fours should call on a paired board.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes ace high has to call on a paired board.
Right. But this is a terrible card. This card is so bad. Every
Yeah,
straight,
I
every
don't-
straight draw that didn't come in just hit a pair.
Yeah, I'd probably fold the fours there.
Yeah.
That's a bit stationy, I think, to
Yep.
be honest.
There we go. But it's 3.6 big blinds of station. Raise, fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold. Come on. Come on. Come on, Scotty. Fold it. Yes. Good. All right. Fold, 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 fold. Raise. Fold. Some people are going to call this.
500 bigs, I mean, 500 NL are we starting to call
Good
unsuited?
question.
It depends on
know.
the sizing.
At 50
So-
NL, at 50 NL, it's 9-8, 8-7-7. I think, yeah, it goes down to 7-6, is calling about a quarter of the time.
So then at
Yeah,
500.
it looks like you do get the
calling-
call, this combo at 500 now.
Folds to the small blind,
Oh, no,
raises.
small blind raises.
Small blind raises. See that? That pattern right there goes down to 6-5 at 50.
But if they go more than three, cause all those hands are like zero,
Yeah, just
if
fold.
they go more than three, just let it go.
And at a higher rake, just to show you it, it's still there with 9-8, 8-7, and 7-6. And I said 25%, but the actual number is more like, whoops, wrong button.
43.
Thank you.
Ah,
50%.
43.5.
43.5. Oh my God, you play so bad.
I was just looking at the amount of green.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. All right, so he limps it. Against the limp, the 6-7 is
Happy to see a flop.
happy to see a flop. It has, I think, 25, 6-7 has, I think, 25% raises there. Let's see. Yeah, 21. What a fish. All right, and this particular combo for me would be a raise, but there you go. And he does it. Oh, excellent.
Mhm.
And
Well,
200
actually,
bigs.
I think villain one has been probably one of the best players at the table.
Hmm.
From what we've seen so far.
he's done some stuff. Yeah. All right. And the ace-3 here, just fold.
Yeah, I can't comment on 200 bigs because I don't know how 500 NL at 200 plays, but
Yep.
I imagine there's some strategy that differs.
Yeah, he's supposed to fold this.
There's our raise. The raise is we'll call it a 3 raise.
Can you
And,
go to 200 bigs?
Can I go to 200 bigs? I can. I have that ability.
Oh, there's no limp.
Well, small
Well,
blind
yeah.
is
Yeah.
called.
There's no limp. Oh, well. I cannot.
I've got it at 300 big blinds, it's a fold.
Yeah. I
And
like
is it a limp strategy too?
There, yeah, do you want me to show real quick?
No, I was just curious because 200 didn't have a limp strategy, so I was wondering why 300 suddenly gets you limps again.
It might be because this is pre-flop only, which has kind of different strats.
different assumptions. But the ace three is a fold?
Yeah, we're calling ace five,
Okay,
but ace three we're folding.
good enough. This seems like a really good hand to go check. And you can bet some bottom pair here, but I think mostly check.
No, heads up, that's a check, should be a check.
You just bet it, just bet heads up there. Okay, and it's over.
I would think we'd bet a lot with that king.
Raise, fold, 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 fold. Ah! That is,
King,
is
queen off may
necessary.
not
Scotty.
make it.
1, 2,
Scotty, you're not
four.
playing limit.
You can't raise it. You can't raise a king, queen here?
That's pretty early for king, queen. I don't know if it's full on 100%.
Oh, I'd raise it. I don't care what the charts say.
This is under the gun +2. King, queen is 100%
Okay,
there,
good.
I
Yeah.
think. Come on.
Even under the gun, it mixes only at under the gun.
Yeah, it mixes under the gun. And it doesn't even, and it's not even, oh, shut up.
You need, it's a 200. You need
Yeah, I'll go back.
100.
200, 100, 9 max, GTO. King, queen, under the gun 1. I don't know why I have 2s here and not 2.5s. Change. Opening size. 2.5. Still gonna be there. 2.5. 100%. And here it's gonna be still robust.
A little mixing in there. But
7%,
yeah,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's too tight. But oh, he's also broken stack. Broken stack, it's even easier to raise this. These are the hands that go up in value. You could think about king jack here on a broken stack. Alright. So I think what we've established here is that this is one of the worst players at the table.
He's been tight. He's been pretty nitty pre-flop.
Yeah. This guy is this guy's the best or one of the best players, and this guy's just old man coffee. And old man coffee can raise jack 10 here. Alright. And now we are just, let's see, are we now at the end of it? Nope, it just repeated itself. Okay, here we go. Fold, 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 fold. Oh. Hey! Best player at the table is going wide. He's widened his range on the theory that these guys don't do that enough. And so he just gets away. And now we're done. Okay, so those were that sequence of hands there. Let me close this down. That's all I have at that one. So let's talk for a second about, did we see the play at 5NL different than what we've been seeing at the lower stakes?
I think we saw
Yeah.
a very good player.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we saw some pros.
There
One
were
guy,
still weak players. There's always going to be weak players, no matter how high you get.
Yeah.
But the good players were better than no limit 100, no limit 50.
okay,
Yep. And there were fewer bad players.
Yeah, I would say only those two.
yeah. And they both were on broken stacks.
Which makes it less valuable to target them.
Yeah, yep. And one of the guys did a couple things right on his small stack. He did those 2 jams.
Yeah, it might have been a specialist, you're right.
I was looking to see if he automatically reloaded to 30 every time, and he didn't. So that's what kind of made me wonder.
Well, no, broken stack, they're comfortable playing down to 20.
Yeah.
But when he came back in short.
40 to 20 is like their range that they like to play. Because I'm friends with Mike Shahade, who used to always, before GTO, he used to always short stack.
Right.
He was a professional on Stars.
Is he the husband of Jen Shahade?
No, it's her brother.
The brother, huh?
All right.
And Actually, I know them because their father used to play it at the private club I used to play at in Philly.
Yeah, she's a superstar. I have a big crush on Jin Chen with her.
I played her in chess and I got crushed.
I would imagine, yeah. She's one of the best women in the world, isn't she?
No, she's not that good, but she's still damn good.
Do we have a stat here for not currency one, but for big blinds one?
So you want to, so what I did last
Oh,
week, which
currency.
was helpful, is like I said, final pot bigger than 10 big blinds, and it kind of made it
Right,
just big pots. But
gotcha.
so if we look through this, we should be able to see something like that.
Right, but I'm gonna make it I'm gonna make it more depressing than that.
You can also sort by pot and then do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's,
So if you go to the top right, where it says pot, you probably can sort by that
oh,
column.
right, just click on that. Okay, pot. Thank
There
you.
go, there you go.
It's just the size of the pot. All right, let's go, let's bring up 1,000, the most recent 1,000 hands. And let's see what happened in the biggest of pots.
And then, yeah, you can like shift and then just highlight like the top 20 or whatever. You
Yeah,
can play those.
here's some hands. Doesn't matter whether it was my problem or their problem.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
let's,
this should be pot
let's
to
see where
anyone, right?
yeah, pot for anybody, yeah. I was gonna do, let's see the biggest losses of mine. Let's see my biggest mistakes. And
I
get really,
spared you from that
right,
travesty.
but now we're just gonna see other people's biggest bad beats or mistakes.
So it's always fun for me to look at these and try to imagine how it got to be such a big pot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And
And
this
I
is,
think,
So
oh,
what's
sorry, go ahead.
what's the
It's
how
50.
did you set this up?
this is 50 cent NL. This is this is the most recent 1,000 hands. So these are all gonna be 50 cents. These are all gonna be the $50 game because that's what I've been playing for the past 1,000 hands. And we've just set it up with big pots.
How big?
150, so 3 buy-ins, 2 full buy-ins, a
Oh,
buy-in. Just big. Just see, we're just looking at what are some of the biggest good plays or mistakes. Just seems like a way to go. And it's a 1:30 now, so yeah, we'll do another 30 minutes-ish and be done.
Sounds good.
That sounds good, yeah. Okay, so ace queen raises. This pot should not get so big. King 9 suited in the small blind.
I can only imagine what happens here is that we're gonna have to flush it with flush.
I think
Yeah.
king 9 suited, I'd fold there.
Yeah, I think,
Against a low jack.
yeah, I would think that we need to be in position to play this for a 3-bet. This does not play well out of position. All right, so here's
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
What?
That's why.
we've seen this hand before. We know this hand. We don't need to see it. This is the crazy guy who showed himself to be crazy. Remember when we did Crazy Day?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That guy and the king queen adjust and the ace queen, they both call. And he beats them both, by the way. Just
That's
to-
right.
Oh,
I
that's
do
right.
remember.
Oh, right, and there's your jack. All right, there we go. So not that hand. But that was exciting. All right. Now,
Yep.
aces raise,
Aces
Queen
lose
10.
to a flush.
yeah, queen 10 probably does some 3-betting here, but he might flat it. In our world, in our simplified world, there are no flats, and queen 10 suited is good enough to be a 3-bet, but not against 1, 2, 3, 4, not against the pre. So
Well,
I think fold.
if
I would
if
rather-
I step outside of the 3-bet or fold, queen 10 suited might be one of the ones I call.
Sure.
yeah,
Let's
I
see
agree.
how it goes. There's,
I think we're gonna get, oh,
oh my.
interesting.
How
Not
about
now.
folding? How about folding?
Yeah, simple fold now.
Easy fold.
What?
What?
Now we know.
You wanna know how pots get this big? Alright, please go heads up.
And he calls it off, right?
He calls it off.
That's insane.
He calls it off. Maybe,
Are they chip dumping?
maybe he has a cat had stepped on his keyboard. Or maybe, and I've seen this happen at 5NL. We're playing big blinds and they're playing $5. Guys who, that 100 big blinds is $5 and they're not tracking their big blinds per 100 that they have to show their friends when they do their replay studies.
Hmm.
They play $5 and $5 is less than the tip, is a third of the tip on dinner. It's a tip, on a cab ride
Yeah,
somewhere.
but this
Well,
is,
this is 50.
this
No,
is
I know.
50. This
He could
isn't
have more money.
$5.
I've said I've seen that at 5. Maybe that's what this guy's doing.
Yeah,
And
a
it
couple,
is, I'd
couple
like to-
millionaires.
Yeah, there you
Maybe
go.
it's just $50 is nothing to him.
Come on, queen. Come on, queen.
No, you do not want to see these people get rewarded.
I want to see
Oh,
these.
I do.
I don't know. I think I do. Just not
No, I
against
want to be
me.
at this table.
You want that guy to have all the chips. You don't want him to have
Yeah,
all
man.
the chips. You want him on happy tilt. Just not against you. All right. Let's see. Sevens can open. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a post. King 5 suited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. King 5 suited can open from here if he wants to. With the post, there's no reason not to, except that it pushes his size up. So maybe having to go to all the way to
I may fold it with the post.
Yeah. I can see why.
I mean,
Uh,
because you're out of position to the post.
Yeah. But I would play, but in this exact situation, I would play it. Because it's King 5.
Yeah, I try to steal it too.
So, I mean, it's spades. 'cause
Maybe
it's
with this
spades.
full ring, maybe not. I don't know.
My experience is a lot of people, once they post, don't like to give it up.
That's
Because
true.
first of all, posting is a very loose passive. I
Mhm.
want to play cards type thing.
So there we go. So we'll see what he does. So he has an option here to raise or not. The ace 10, if it gets to him, unraised, he should raise. If it gets to him raised, he should fold. And then if he folds, the 7th should open and play against the 6s. And if we get set over set, maybe that's what happens. So there's the
I
fold.
was thinking set over set.
To this raise, 7s.
At this level, I could see call and call.
But I could see, but that's what's gonna happen. But what should happen? Let's start with what should happen. I think the 7s should fold here.
Well, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty early. Okay, I can get behind a fold.
Yeah. Now, this
It
guy's
probably
range
mixes
is
in some
wider.
3-bets, but
Yeah, this guy's range is wider, we think, because he posted. But I'm still too early for 7s for me. The 7s call. Everybody else should fold except the 6s, who should absolutely not fold and should not 3-bet either.
I mean, before we saw LaSabre, almost all of us would have called 7s there.
And now the queen jack folds. This is bad.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna
that's-
get a set here.
I see why he
So
did it.
6s should not fold here then,
Nope. No, 6s shouldn't have folded then.
or no, they should not call. 6s should fold now.
Joey,
Oh.
I understand that this is multi-way. And there is a risk of set over set, but I strongly disagree with respect. I think that this is a call all day.
Yeah, let's take a look at this in your 500 NL, Larry, take a look at this one where where these calls exist. We're gonna ignore that it was a post and like that. I think these 6s is a slam dunk call.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see. All right,
Oh, we
That-
might get
here's
straight
the
over
mo-
set.
nope. We get top pair, straight draw, and bottom set, and straight draw. I think this straight draw is I think he might get out of there. He might save himself. All right, so 6s should check range. He does. Ace 10 should be doing a lot of checking here and going for the check raise sometimes. But he's not going to. He's gonna bet. 7s is gonna get out of the way. Whoa.
Ooh,
Way too big a bet.
Yep, way too big to call.
Terrible
with,
call.
right.
Now what,
Queen
now,
jack. Without that call, I think the queen jack could certainly call here. I think now he's drawing unclean to the nuts and he can't feel good about his queen or a jack anymore now that that call's there. I think he should get out of the way.
Yeah,
But I
but I
think he
think he's
will.
gonna call.
He's gonna call because he called pre-flop and
And
he's,
he's gotta draw in better pot odds now.
yep, he calls. Oh,
Oh, he folds.
he folds. And now the sixes should now check raise. Do not slow play. Good job.
Maybe a little more.
It's gonna get
I
11.
might go to 20 something.
He's gonna get 11 in against the ace 10. They're gonna be at 34, 44. It's easy for him to get it all in. Here, I don't think he needs to go bigger. I mean, it'd kind of be nice to get it all in on the turn, not on the river.
Well, yeah, I'd be playing 2E and you'd have to bet somewhere around
Ah.
25 for 2E.
there's
Yeah,
nothing better than someone out overvaluing bet top pair.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go. And then the
So of
sevens
course,
folding. No, never fold.
we're all thinking set over straight, maybe a flush makes there. No, it's
Oh my
top pair over set. Or set over top pair.
Wow. These
I'm
players are
sorry
so
if any of
bad.
you have headphones
What are
on.
his pot odds, by the way? Can you pull back one? I'm just curious. Yeah, this is a hard.
Right. And now, once he gets called, just jam over that.
Yeah, everyone's committed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm even with sixes going, well, shit, okay, I guess I'm like, I'm not super confident with my sixes.
Oh,
You
no.
know,
not at
yeah.
all.
Oh,
But
you're
you're
like,
not
oh
folding.
man. I'm
You might be
scared.
thinking I need a full house. You might be thinking I'm against 7-9. But you're not. And you lose to the sevens.
He had 23%. 23% happens, guys.
20, yep. Trump had 27% in 2016, I think, just before, on the last day before.
Probability.
Yeah, it was 27 or 23, because I remember discussing it with people saying, it's a flush draw, guys. I mean, you'd rather have the pair than the flush draw, but they happen.
Flush
All
draws
the people-
happen.
Yeah, when the thing where they were just saying, I mean, it was 27, the polls were wrong, I go, no. Well, all right, there you go.
1 out of 4 happens. Yeah.
All right, that's a big pot. So far, our answer is what makes pots big? Bad play. Exceedingly bad play.
Yeah, this one shouldn't get that large, but
Right. King 9 suited opens.
Do we want to look at pre-flop for that?
Oh, the pre-flop on the last one, yes. We wanted to look on the last pre-flop conversation about the sixes.
Let's
Yes.
show real quick and get back. Full ring, UTG raises, we only get one call and that's in the button and this is our big blind range.
Right,
Oh,
but now
well,
go to
with
the
one
NL
call,
500.
yeah.
Go to the NL 500. That
Okay.
was our,
Okay, classic, spin. Where's my rake? That.
Upper right.
9
You gotta
max
go 6
doesn't
max.
have 500.
go 6 max to get your 500.
Stacks 100, these stacks 100, right?
An NL 500 rig. Now we got some calls.
Okay,
Who opened in that hand?
I will tell you in a second.
I'm gonna write it on poker coaching.
It is 1, 2, 3, 4. The pre, so we're putting him in the low jack. He's low jack -1.
Low jack -1. Okay.
What some of
fold.
you people call.
yeah, we're gonna set mine multi-way.
Yep, everything, every pair. Thank you.
Yeah, it's slam dunk.
Yeah, okay, and then Joey will go to poker coaching with his tail between his Joey legs, looking for some
Well-
redemption, some redemption.
Typically, solvers, once you're the fourth person in, they don't let you call.
Yeah, but this is the big blind.
You're closing the
Okay.
action.
You're the one guy they do. You can't be squeezed. Like I would be surprised. if we look at that small blind,
Okay,
you get
yeah,
another
you're
person
right.
in, the small blind can't. Yep. Because as you saw, you can hit your set and stack two guys.
Yeah,
Or
closing the action is different. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So here we go. We are at king nine suited should raise,
Share,
3-3 can call. I think he should
share your
fold.
screen.
Oh, there's that. Sorry. Share screen. There we go.
You would need to make some decisions. This isn't
All right.
good.
This
King
could be set
nine.
over aces here.
Yeah, it's the three, once the king nine folds.
Ah,
So as we said, big pots require bad play. So
um, oh, sorry, go ahead.
the threes can ISO or they can call. There's a perfectly reasonable call for the threes here.
Yeah,
Just pure set line. They do.
I've been overlimping here a lot in
Right.
this situation.
Now- Oh God, I'm in this hand. Oh, this is not good.
Well,
Make it
we don't
Goodbye,
know the result of this big pot, but you're going in as a favorite.
goodbye, 196 big blinds. Luckily, I'm only,
99.
only losing 99.
You're
of
only
them.
losing half of it.
All right, so I'm gonna raise and I'm gonna raise to 3, 4, 5.
I'd raise to 5.
I'm gonna go to 5.5.
Yeah, 550 would be mine.
That's what it did. There we go. And the ace nine is going to, should fold. But maybe with a pot this big, he doesn't. That's how we get there. Oh,
Ah,
Oh, wow.
oh, it's a party.
let's go.
All right,
Scotty,
now I think I'm gonna win this hand.
Yeah, Scotty, don't time out fist pumping.
There you go. No,
Oh,
make it stop. Make it stop. But the king is not an out. The king is a split.
that's a good point. King is on.
Oh, he's not open-ended.
8 of diamonds.
Shut up. Oh, oh, oh.
You're rich.
Big pots are bad play. I'm rich. All
Yeah,
right.
we haven't seen one of these pots like.
Yes,
It's just been ridiculous ripping pre-flop with something that shouldn't even be there.
yeah, yeah. I think this is I don't think we're learning very much from this, but I think it is as in learning about play. But I
It's
think we're learning
content.
about how people play.
We're learning a lot about human behavior, human errors.
I think so. All right.
And you
Fold,
know, it's very important to see that.
raise, fold, fold, fold. Call some and 3-bet some. The jack 10 suited. But
Can we go
instead,
back to the previous hand? Because I just have a question about ranges here.
yes,
So, okay, so here's the action. We ISO
it's not in range.
this. Yes, what is our calling range, guys? What are you calling me? I'll let you guys go first.
calling range of hero.
Yes,
Oh, I would just do an MDF calculation.
all right. So what does the
Um,
MDF calculation lead you to?
124 divided by like 130. About 5%, top 5% of my range. And let's say we would do just 10% there, so top 0.5 of hands, aces and kings.
Yeah.
And we would still meet a MDF.
Why are you doing this? Oh, I see why you're doing this.
So queens are a fold?
We're gonna look at that right
And-
now.
And Larry, did you qualify that question with assuming he's unknown, or like have we seen his action so far?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well,
We
let's
assume
just go with
he's
unknown, right?
crazy
I mean,
already.
it's a ridiculous play. It's like not done. This is a unique situation with limps and an ISO.
So, Joey, you said you wanted 5% of range?
Yeah, I estimate my original range might be like 10%. Like eights plus, ace 10, king queen, something like that.
So let's remove everything. Okay.
That
Remove,
would probably be my
okay.
ISO range
remove.
against 2 players.
That seems pretty tight for you, Joey.
This is a crazy play on his part.
No, his original ISO.
Against 2
range.
players, you don't want to ISO very wide. You target a single limper, but against two limpers, you want to be pretty tight when you're ISO raising.
Okay, so that right there, that's 5.1%.
Yeah, go out to 10%.
Right.
Because my range would be around 10% there.
Here's our 10.
Yeah, it's a little different than what I would have, but that's not a horrible range to
Oh, no,
raise.
that looks like a good ISO range, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this doesn't calculate MDF, it calculates
Oh, we got the MDF off of the jam, and the MDF off the jam gave us 5%.
alright, hang on, so
And
125 divided by 130.
and now we're gonna go top 2%. I mean, this is a super tight response. And it's still got jacks in it. That's-
I think I'm queens. I think I like queens plus ace king suited.
Feel like that's where I'd land, assuming unknown.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, and this isn't just theorizing. I mean, we see this sometimes, right? I mean, we do this sometimes.
Yeah, and I think I think at this point, this behavior. Here we go. Here we go, we're on this end. This behavior probably didn't come out of nowhere. Meaning we've probably seen him playing some.
wait, is this the crazy
No, this is not the
crazy
crazy.
guy again?
I never made
Yeah.
money off the crazy guy.
Because basically, if we stick to MDF a little bit, actually, you want to go a little over MDF. But if we just stick to that tight range,
Mhm.
if he's doing this with a ridiculous range, we're still going to punish him because we're not letting him get away with it with the right amount of times.
Yeah.
And we're going to have top of range often enough to crush him when he makes ridiculous plays like this.
And when we're wrong, it's not like we have no equity. And when we're right, it's not like he has no equity.
And I'm pretty safe at saying I don't think anybody does this with aces. Maybe one person out of 100.
Right.
What I have
Very
seen,
rare.
I have seen the open rip with aces. Just open rip. You know, sort of, no one would do this, I dare you. I've seen that happen.
You've seen it, Scotty, but like we're saying, it's just so rare.
That's rare. It's rare.
Yeah.
But so is
Like
that.
I
but
said,
this-
99 out of 100 players aren't doing this with aces.
Or ace nine suited. 99 out of 100.
I would say more of the idiots are doing it with worse hands than ace more
Yeah.
often.
Didn't we already see this?
No, we stopped on this hand. We got to this hand and then we went back to look at the aces to talk about it.
Oh, okay.
So this is gonna be a raise from the 10-10 and the 10-jack suited is gonna come along and should. And the question was whether the 10-jack suited here is a 3-bet, and just offhand, I'm gonna say that this 10-jack suited has against the hijack
Mm,
is gonna be,
flat.
I
is
think
gonna
it's
have,
mostly calls.
I think it's gonna have definitely, it's got some 3-bets. I think it's gonna have at least 25%, if not 50%.
Yeah, but
I
mostly
think
calls.
poker coaching 3-bet sense.
Oh, and then we saw this and went, never mind. When this happened. So now the 10s bet big. Oh, they bet,
Ah.
It was really big.
and now everybody should fold. This 10-jack should not come along. He's got 400 big blinds, so he probably is gonna call. But he's not playing 400 deep. He has no justification for this.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I'm just curious what.
Yeah.
So
But
he's
he-
getting 30% here.
Yeah.
Well, you could see, yeah, I would fold this, but it's just
Yeah.
interesting to see.
Yeah, to see what his equity actually is, but it's a terrible
Yeah.
idea. Yep. Okay. And this guy has got to fold. There we go. All right.
Ah. Someone's gonna go cray cray.
The 10s should not lose he should not lose 100 big blinds here.
He's gonna go cray cray.
Bet too big on a paired board. This bet should be 7. I mean, his initial bet shouldn't be this big, but this is too big on a paired board. Once he gets called, he should shut the fuck down.
Maybe he's enamored
he
with his
gets dunked.
blockers.
He has got no draw here.
Right, I
guess he
think he has to call though.
Yeah, I understand why the 10 jack play now. I mean, I do understand it with the spade coming in. He wants to win his hand. All right, how big does he bet? 61. And now he's got a half pot bet. The power of 2E.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
Yeah.
point.
but that's also because pocket tens already inflated the pot.
Yes.
With 2 bets that were too large
Yep.
to start with.
Yep. Let's see if he can at least get away from this.
And now, oh, I only have to win 1 out of 4 times.
There we go. And you don't. All
This
right.
is I think the error villain 34 is making, which is a very common human error, is the sunk cost fallacy.
Yes.
What is that? I don't know that one.
So, I mean, it's just like a very human fallacy. Oh, we've already invested so much money into this
Oh, okay.
situation.
It's like how they used to say, I put 2/3 of my stack in, I'm not folding now.
Yes, yeah, it's sunk cost fallacy.
Yes. It's why you stay married for so long. Let's just see. I'm just jumping ahead to see if we get to, because of time. Just seeing if one of these giant pots that I'm gonna be in. I think today may be the one day that we do not end on one of my hands.
Go back to the,
Oh, ace
List.
queen.
go back
What?
to the list and.
Oh,
look
yeah.
for 'em.
But here's one. Here's a hand I'm in.
Oh,
I mean-
okay,
Counts. All right, here we go. This will be our last hand. And it's not going to end well. The 3's limp, the ace 5 suited limps. I raise, and I'm gonna raise to 5.5. There we go. The 6s decide to set mine. This is bad because I mean, this is bad, but I guess even though he's not closing the action, he's less likely to get squeezed now.
Yeah, I don't know what to do in this situation on button. This is
Just
your
fold.
guaranteed position. And this,
But you're still not guaranteed you get to see the flop. You're
True.
less unlikely to, because you didn't go raise and re-raise. So these guys are both capped, but these guys are not capped.
Yeah.
And you don't know that one of these guys isn't gonna play limp re-raise.
I
and
guess the
just-
question to ask you guys real quick is, do you have a flatting range in this situation?
No.
Okay.
No, just no. It's the hand's good enough, because it's inflated. I mean, yes, you're getting, but you're gonna be able to set mine later for 2 big blinds and 3 big blinds. Why do it for 5.5 when you don't have to?
That's a good call. I hear you.
But he does. With that king queen is not folding. Because that jack 6 did not. All right, I may not lose a lot of money in this hand. Multi-way like this, I'm gonna be very careful.
yeah, it's gonna go 6 way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good. And Jack 6 still has 11. Look at this. Jack 6 still has 11%. I'm not even the
He
favorite.
has as much as ace 5 suited.
Yeah. Wow.
So your queen is blocked, so that gives you, yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, kids. I'm gonna lose everything. That was fun.
I hate to see it end this way, Scott.
It's gonna end this way.
You got running clubs. You got aces, you got
And
queens.
this way. Yep, that's not happening.
2 of them are gone.
Check, 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 check. He bets out his 7.
Maybe you luck box it. Let's hope you luck box it.
I'm not luck boxing it.
Just
And
call.
I'm not getting away from it either.
No, it's very hard. to
Oh,
get away
just
from this.
call, you know to just call there now, right?
No, I don't with top 2. I don't know what, I thought top 2 was enough.
Yeah, but there's so many people left to act after you.
Yeah,
You just
Look
call
how-
and let it go.
okay,
Look how small that bet is, though. Gosh.
okay.
I would say the one value of calling here is that you will gain more information from the people behind with their
Yeah.
betting patterns.
Yeah. I can absolutely see calling ace king here.
I totally get your raise in
Well,
position.
you,
I under- I-
you remember, like, when we were in the middle in the GTO,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't do a lot of raising. There were some slivers, but most of it was
Yeah.
just calling.
Mostly was
Hold
calling.
on.
Yep. All right.
I
Well,
agree, this is a better call.
he got out of the way. Oh, maybe,
You're telling me there's a chance.
there's a chance. Nope, there's no chance.
Now there's 30% chance.
I just decided it's going to happen. And let's just end it here and never discuss it again. Let's never look back at this again.
So
Oh.
maybe on turn, you're saying, let's just deny equity. I've got draws to the second nuts. The nuts, actually.
On turn, I'm saying I'd like to lose all my money in this order rather than in the other order.
This feels like it is an equity denial play.
Yeah,
You're
but-
giving me way too much credit. This feels like a bad play.
I don't know, when you just get one caller and you get the king of clubs, I don't dislike this bet. I mean, it sucks because we know what he has,
Right,
but he could also be in there with ace 10, ace jack.
right. But so why
and
am I
still
betting?
calling.
What,
Huh?
what am I getting? What does this bet do for me? That a check call doesn't? And why do I care if it goes check, check? I can bet the river.
Yeah, you have a good point.
I have tremendous value except against the top of his range. He's indicated he's at the top of his range. No, he doesn't. He cold
He
called.
just called.
He
So
just
his,
called, but he
it
called
looks like
plenty
his range
big
is capped.
with flush draws.
But there aren't that many good flush draws left.
Yes, I have the nut, but here, when he calls, that's not the jack of clubs alone. Calling 23 big blinds here. That's an ace six, which I have crushed. A 6-6 ace, ace, and queen, queen that crushes me and flush draws. It's not a king jack without, I mean, king jack with maybe the king of clubs. But it's king jack of clubs. It's, it's multi-way, it's good flush draws. Maybe not good flush draws. It's flush draws and hands that beat me and mistakes, right? Against a range of flush draws, hands that beat me and mistakes. Why am I betting? Why
It's
am I
almost-
betting?
Sorry, go ahead.
Betting into a flush draw, not good. Betting into hands that beat me, not good. Betting into mistakes, why bother?
Can we argue this is a way ahead or way behind situation?
Yes,
So what is, I don't know I don't know if there is a heuristic around way ahead or way behind.
you don't
Alright.
bet.
Alright, let's go, just keep it with numbers.
Okay. I'll
In
choose. to bet.
general, solvers will bet once they have like 65% or more equity. Do you think you have 65% equity against his entire range?
No,
No?
No.
Top two?
Top two
Flop
with a draw to the nuts.
no, because I put his, I litter his range with flush draws and sets. Only sets of sixes.
So you're saying he never has ace jack there, or ace 10? Or ace
He-
9?
He can have it sometimes, but
We have seen the egregious errors these players are making. And on this one hand, you want to eliminate all those egregious errors.
yes. You have described my position accurately, Joey. That is what I want to do. But again, I'm not.
I believe you have 65% or more equity against his range, and then a bet is perfectly fine there.
All right.
You will get called against the total range of population. You will get called 50% plus one of hands that you beat.
All right, I will accept that. Now, of those hands that will call me that beat me, that I beat. How many of them check behind on the turn and then fold to a river bet?
Ace 10 of diamonds with a fourth club.
When the fourth club comes, the ace 10 is gonna fold. So I'm not gonna get value from him. That's true. But when the club comes, it's gonna be, it's all, just the third club, it's gonna be hard for me to get value from him. And
No, the fourth club.
the fourth
If
club
he
is
doesn't
enough.
have, if he doesn't have clubs, you're not getting value. You
I-
might not even get value from the pocket sixes here.
Yeah.
With a fourth club.
That's true. I will though if the fourth club is no, they can't, there's no way to pair. He can't get a full house on a club. Oh, that's nice.
So maybe what you were thinking in game is that if, the fourth club comes, he's not gonna pay. But he'll pay now.
That's
But-
that's giving me credit.
Cause when a fourth club comes, you're not getting value from anything you beat now.
Then maybe that is, I mean, yeah, maybe that's where your head was at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cooler, right? I mean, if you check here, one,
He bets I'm
another way
not
to look at this,
folding.
if you check and he shoves, are you ever folding?
Nope.
So
Nope.
this is a cooler.
If he turns his hand over, check, I check, he bets 60 into this. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 13 outs.
Yeah, your pot odds are around 30%, maybe a little less than that, maybe
No, there
pot odds
was,
are like 28% or something.
when he shoves here, my pot odds are, yeah, I'm, it's not even, it's not even a full pot bet. Yep.
Yeah, your pot odds, if he was face up and he shoved, your pot odds are a call.
I would sit there and I would count on my fingers and I would call. I have 28% equity. I have 30% equity. Wow,
30?
30.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I did,
I
I
have outs for
calculated,
both.
I was guessing like 28 too.
I calculated 28 and then I looked at the answer and it's 30. Oh, yeah. And just for fun, as we go, since I can't do this in my head right now, and I don't know that I ever could do it in my head, we'll do it exactly right. 87.
I got a simpler way.
Yes,
Hit your button where you shove and look what his pot odds are.
all right.
It would be identical.
You're right. Shove.
31%.
31%. I've got 30%.
So you should fold.
I should fold for 1%. But if I calculate it on my fingers, I don't fold. But yes, I should fold.
Wait, that doesn't seem right. Oh, I just realized something that's happening.
Yes,
In game, you will come up with a different percentage pot odds than you're seeing on the table.
because of the rake.
I think they're taking out rake when they're doing pot odds.
Okay. But this guy's not
Because
sho-
it shouldn't be, because let me get a calculator really quick.
If he shoved, the pot would be 68 plus 87, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to do.
Plus
So it's
87
68 divided by 68 plus 87. And to do the exact numbers,
plus-
it is calculator.
So it would be total 225.12 in the pot.
88 plus 36. We're gonna do exact
156,
156. And now we're going to do,
and you have to put in 69.
yeah, I gotta put in 60, 68.88, 156.24.
Yeah, it's 31. That's right.
225.12.
0.88 divided by, what was it? What was the number?
The total pot after the call would be 225.12.
Okay,
So yeah, I'm getting
Doesn't-
an equity requirement of 31%. So I think
Okay.
Joey's shorthand tool was
and I've
correct.
got 30, right, and I've got 30, and,
Yeah, I think Joey's shorthand tool works.
yep, and that is the description of this hand. So what should have happened here, let's go back before the whining. With top two and the flush draw, you're saying my best play here is to just call this 7
Yeah, I believe.
and give people the right pot odds to draw to their inside straight draws, which,
Okay, all right, you're doing heads up analysis in a multi-way pot. Cause you saw even top two in the DTO was just calling most of the time. It may have had a sliver,
right. And this is
But-
massive multi-way. This is much worse.
yeah.
It's facing a
But
smaller
also,
bet
see,
too.
when I see where you see it, I see value here. It, especially since we could see the heads face up. If you just call,
Right?
king queen is going to stick around.
Unless 6 is raised. If 6 is slow play it, right?
Yeah, well, let's say the sixes wasn't even there,
Then king queen is in there. I get value from king queen.
and 3-3 might be tempted to drop 7 in. Jack 6 might be tempted to drop 7 in if you just call.
He's got a club.
So by you raising, you're pushing out all these other second best hands
Yeah.
where you could still get value from by just calling.
Mm-hmm.
And now when you raise, you're only getting played against by hands that have equity against your hand.
Right. The flush draws and the hand, the real flush draws and the hands that beat me. Maybe a king jack or a king 10 with a king of clubs.
Queen X of club, well, you have the queen of clubs.
All right. Cool, guys. I will see you tomorrow.
Great session. I really enjoyed this. So
I
tomorrow.
may have to miss tomorrow because I have a lot of work,
All right.
but I will see if I can